Welcome to the Gitty Gang show here live from the newly reconfigured, repurposed, reorganized, Renaissance stage. The Gitty Studios have moved, they're set back up. We've been hard at work all week, 2 weeks. How long's it been? It's been a while. Getting all this set up, and we're ready to go today with the Irish show. Glenn, what you playing right there? Look at that guitar, Irish flag on it. Thanks for joining us. Here we go. Wait for it to come around on the guitar. There it is. It's the Gitty Gang show on Cigar Box Nation TV. It's the Gitty Gang show on Cigar Box Nation TV. And we're coming to you live from CB Gitty. It's the Gitty Gang show. 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 Gitty Gang show. It's the Gitty Gang show on Cigar Box Nation TV. I heard some other voices there. It seems like we have more of a chorus than we usually have. Well, again, thank you for joining us. We see your comments coming in here. We want to welcome everyone. It's going to be a very special show, one kind of, I'd say, unlike any we've ever tried. You'll see. We're going to be switching to a different stage, a remote location, coming to you from one of the remotest corners of Ireland, good old Ireland itself. It's going to be the Irish session. I'm going to have to travel quickly to get there, folks. Listen, this is serious. All right, so a couple of announcements before we jump into the Irish portion of today's show. Can you hand me a script over here? Direct from Ireland, folks. This is airmail coming in live here. Oh, we got it. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, we've got this guitar. The winner has been chosen. We're going to be announcing that a little bit later. Actually, quite soon. Before we switch to the Irish portion. Also, a couple of announcements, just updates. I know many of you have been following the reorganization here at CB Gitty. It's going great. We're actually standing in a part of it. Some of folks have asked, what's the reason for this? Why are you doing this reorganization? That's a fair question. It's because 2 or 3 years ago, how long has it been since we moved out? 2.5. 2.5 years ago, I got a little carried away and made a slight mistake in terms of taking on space and paying rent. And I realized in the time since then that it'd be a lot smarter to put those resources into production, into machinery, and into people, to make the parts, to make instruments, to make cigar box guitars and parts for all of you out there. So that's the reason for this reorganization, to refocus in on what really matters and what the purpose and the mission of all of this is. It really doesn't, in a way it's an expansion. We've added more people, we've added more equipment and machinery. It's the only thing that's being reorganized is how it's all laid out. We're fitting a lot more goodness into a smaller space. So that's the purpose of the reorg. Other announcements, our buddy One Hand Dan is leaving for France. He's doing a tour of France in a couple of days. I think it's this weekend. We rushed a box of CDs down to him. Hope it gets there before he leaves. Another announcement, we will soon have the Lace Matchbook pickups. An amazing high-end premium humbucker pickup designed by Don Lace of Lace Pickups, legendary names in the guitar pickup industry, and they turned their attention to cigar box guitars and really cranked out an amazing thing. Rob Robles been using them on his builds. I know Rusty Taylor has used them. Travis Bolin is a big fan, so we're excited to have those in stock here at CB Gitty soon. So, without further ado, I want to announce the winner of this guitar. Over the past 4 weeks, we've been talking about giving away this guitar, which I jokingly, somewhat, call the cease and desist guitar, because it turns out that Jack Daniels did not appreciate us using this design. So instead of trying to sell this, it's true, there's a whole story there. We're going to give it away. And we asked you to share these broadcasts publicly here on Facebook from February, I think it was the 16th, 23rd, and then March 2nd. Those 3 broadcasts. There were over 1,000 shares of the posts over those 3. And this morning, bright and early, around 7, I compiled all of those into a single list. There were over 1,000 lines in that list. Then I used Google Random Number Generator between 1 and 1,036 or whatever it was to pick one line. And I went down that list and found that line. And the winner of this guitar, 4-string electric old number 7, is none other than our good friend Michael Capato.
Michael!
Michael Capato, the winner of this guitar. He's been a regular viewer. He's probably out there right now. Well, congratulations, Michael, and thank you to all of you who took the time to share. There were so many shares. I was scrolling through the list, and so many of the names of our favorite people, Marty Tauber and John McKee, and so many people just sharing the heck out of these broadcasts to groups. It's like, man, some of these groups must be getting tired of seeing these shares, but hey,
thank you.
We appreciate it and want to thank you for it. So we will be getting this shipped out to Michael in the days ahead. We have his address already on file from past orders he's placed. I wanted to play it today for the entry song before we get into the Irish portion of the show. And I did want to announce also, now Glenn, where's the guitar you were playing?
Right here.
Now, it's a 3-string GDG, and we put the Irish flag, kind of a weathered version of the Irish flag on the face of it there. I intend to play this tomorrow on the High Holy Day itself, St. Patrick's Day, with the gig with Bradigan, who are currently far, far away in Ireland.
Tucked in a corner.
Yeah. Anyway, and then anyone who shares today's show, if you share this show publicly on Facebook, this post, this is the giveaway for this week. A fine 3-string guitar built by our own Farley Andreessen. I went out today and put the flag on there and got it finished off. So we're going to be giving this one away this week. I will be playing it on stage tomorrow. We're going to try to get some video and photos of that as I rejoin my old band Bradigan that we'll be talking a lot more about very shortly. And Glenn, how do you notice that I put fairly light gauge strings on it?
Yeah.
It might do with a little heavier for intonation purposes.
It may. As is described with looser strings, they can bend a little bit if you're fretting like some people do, a little bit further up to the 12th fret, and they can kind of adjust the intonation a bit. But
the action, that's not bad.
That's good.
I could sand that down a little bit. The bridge, sanding the bridge down is a good way to lower the action height, the string action height, and bring that down. So, all right. Well, we're going to teleport. I'm going to teleport into dear old Ireland. We're going to sing some songs for you. So, Glenn Watt, thank you. If you want to stay and keep an eye on things, or
so,
yeah.
Probably next. But yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're going to transition as I wing my way to Ireland. We're going to have a transitional video. If you watched 2-3 weeks ago, whenever it was, our buddy David Comtois was here. And after the show was over, he sat down with this guitar, the Coke Crate guitar I built, and Nick was at the producers. Oh, we don't have a camera set up on the producer's corner yet, but it's a lot nicer, trust me. Say hello, Nick.
Hi, guys.
Hey, there's Nick. Anyway, David sat down with this guitar and played some demos on it. One of those was one of the most beautiful songs ever written, I think, is Blackbird. Lennon and McCartney, I think, together wrote that. Wouldn't swear to it. Anybody know? Did they both? That's one they both worked on, I think. Anyway, here's David playing it instrumentally, and when we come back, we'll be in Ireland.
All right, and here we go.
goes.
I've been a wild rover for many days a year, and I spent all my money on whiskey and beer. But now I'm returned with gold in great store, and I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never, raise up your kilt, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. I went into an alehouse I used to frequent, and I told the landlady me money was spent. I asked her for credit, she answered me nay. Such a custom as yours I can have any day, and it's no, nay, never, raise up your kilt, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. I reached into my pocket, pulled out sovereign bright, and the landlady's eyes opened wide with delight. She said, I have whiskies and wines of the best, and the words that I spoke sure were only in jest, and it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. No, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. I'll go back to my parents, confess what I've done, and I'll ask them to pardon their prodigal son. And if they caress me as oft times before, then I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never, raise up your kilt, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. One last time, and it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more.
Adorable.
All right. Well, welcome to the third half of today's show. I'd like to start by introducing the people around me on stage. Some of them you may know, some you may not. To my far left, the one and only Patrick Boyle.
You might not want to know me.
Good, and you. I'd like to thank you for coming by today,
Not a
Patrick.
problem.
Your
Anytime.
first time on the Gitty Gang show, I
It
think.
is. Hopefully not my last.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Tyler Foss here to my immediate left. He's been on the show a few times now, and always glad to have you come by.
Always happy to be here.
All right.
Thank you very much, Ben.
You think you've met me, Ben Gitty. And then Kim Starling here on my right, the general manager of CB Gitty, joining us today from the newly reorganized shipping department.
Oh no.
And we've got all sorts of libation to help us along the path of Irishness here
It
today.
is the high holy season.
It is.
is indeed.
Tomorrow
It is
the day
indeed.
itself.
Right.
Well, people often ask me if he pays me to sit around and sing.
Sometimes.
But now it's apparent he pays me to sit around and sing and drink. Woohoo! I got a good job.
Yes.
Well, you know, being in Ireland such as we are, it's what, 7 p.m.?
It's
right.
7:30.
It's
It's the right
Yeah,
time.
it's
Yeah.
hot.
You're bloody well
Just the right time. So, what I want this to be, and I was trying to tell everyone, is like a session, an Irish session, which is made up of songs, stories, all sorts of things. You might not know, in a lot of parts of the country, like where I come from in Ohio, I'd never heard of an Irish session. It was hard enough to find just a regular jam session or open mic there. And the idea of the Irish session that I was introduced to when coming here to the area of Dover, New Hampshire, is really something special. Now, Patrick, you've been attending sessions in this part of the country for
Yes, and the
quite a while.
yes, and the grandest sessions we have is down at the greenhouse.
Well, we're going to be getting into that.
But, okay,
That's all right.
The place of lies, what's it, lies, rumors, and innuendos. Absolutely. That's an Irish session.
And otherwise known as the Carnegie Hall of Dover.
Absolutely,
Isn't it?
yes.
Well, an Irish session, there are different types. There's singing sessions, there's traditional sessions where they mostly just play instrumental tunes. Some of them are more structured. Even in this area, there are some where there are the long-time session attendees, and they may give you the opportunity to do a song on occasion. And then there are somewhat more democratic sessions where it goes around a table and everybody gets their turn as it goes around. And it's really a time and a place for singing and playing or telling stories and hopefully having a good time. And some of them, it doesn't look like people are having that good a time, but you know deep down they really are.
It's called the crack.
Yes.
The crack. Oh,
That's
we're
right.
getting to the crack
Yes,
as well.
right.
Right, and I think some of the sessions that you talk about, there, Ben, you know, I mean, there's a, I'll call it, I'll say it's a philosophical difference, you know, between the democratic ones and the more structured ones that you talk
Well,
about.
there's a place
You
for
know.
both, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
I
the more
couldn't agree with you more.
traditional
But
Yep.
there
way.
should be a balance. There should always be a balance.
There should, because
Well, I have a
otherwise,
saying.
Yeah.
If you're having fun, you're doing it right. I like
Couldn't
to
agree
show
with
that
that
I'm
more
having
than-
fun when I'm having fun.
I'm with that philosophy.
All right, well, let's do another song, then we can talk a little bit more.
Then
The
we'll talk
next,
about the
the
crack.
next topic on our list of discussions is what is crack? Some of you might think you know what it is, but you're wrong. Some of you might actually know what it is, and you might be right.
But do they know how to spell it?
Ah,
That's right. We're gonna
oh well, we
explain.
could ask. I've got my
Who
iPad.
knows how to spell crack?
We're going to explain all of that.
I've got my iPad going here. I can see the comments. If you know what we're talking about in this in this scenario, when we mentioned the crack was mighty, the crack was running high, the crack was 90. Let us know if you know what we're talking about.
But you want to do another song first, do you not?
I see my dear mother is out there.
Oh,
Hi,
Janet.
Mom.
Hi, Janet.
She sat in on a Bradigan rehearsal once, didn't she?
Yes,
Yeah,
she did.
yeah.
All right, what are we doing next? Now tell me, Ma. Kim
Oh,
Starling
Lord.
leading. We're going to do it in the standard way, except she's singing it.
Okay, key of C.
D.
D?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw C.
Will she do it and see?
No.
Tell me, Ma, when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. Put my hair, stole my comb, but that's alright till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the belle of Belfast City. She is courting 1, 2, 3. Please, won't you tell me who is she?
Albert Mooney says he loves her. All the boys are fighting for her. Knock on the door and they ring the bell. Oh, my true love, are you well?
There she comes as white as snow, rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. Oh, Jenny Bird, she says she'll die, but that became the fella with her overnight. Tell my Ma, when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. Put my hair, stole my comb, but that's alright till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. She is courting 1, 2, 3. Please, would you tell me who is she?
There it is.
Let the wind and the rain and the hail go by and snow come tumbling from the sky. She's as nice as apple pie. She can her own that by and by. When she gets a lad of her own, she won't tell them all till she comes home. Let the boys say as they will. First Albert Mooney, she loves him. Tell my Ma, when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. Put my hair, stole my comb, but that's alright till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the belle of Belfast City, and she is courting 1, 2, 3. Please, would you tell me who is she? the
Good
melody.
stuff.
And it's hard not to play my drum. That was weird.
So Kim usually doesn't lead that song. The fourth member of Bradigan,
Yes.
Patricia O'Brien, who couldn't be with us today, normally leads that. So thank you, Kim, for
She had to work today.
yeah.
Yeah,
God
somebody's
help us
got to
all.
work.
Somebody's got to.
They don't pay her to sit around and sing and
No.
drink.
Well, speaking of working, I don't usually play guitar on any of these songs. This is the 6-string time clock guitar that I did several years back.
Commercial break.
No,
That's okay.
People always want to know what
time is
what's
it? Yeah.
playing. Well, there's that too. Well, this was the time clock face used here in the old woolen mill,
Yeah.
where CB Gitty's headquarters are here, where we are where we were earlier. Now we're in Ireland. Where I was earlier. This was the time clock where people would punch in and out, and you can see these old tape marks on here that they punched in at, I think it was 11:20. And
7:20.
punch out at 7:20, a good 8-hour shift. And this was it. So I took that, put it on this old guitar that a friend gave me, and that's what I'm mostly playing today. I've got a banjo that Farley built that I'll get up for some of them. But as I was starting to say, I told you that story to tell you this one. Rarely play these songs on the guitar. I'm usually on the banjo.
Correct.
I was doing some serious dusting off earlier today of,
Well,
holy shit,
Panic
what am I
time.
Let me just tell you something. You were doing some really
Missed
good faking,
missed a
brother.
couple there and tell me, Mom.
He's unbelievable. He really
Just
is.
keep it rolling
Yeah, you can hear him
along.
say, there it is. Like, that chord eluded me the last two verses.
Now,
What do you got, Tyler?
You were talking about the crack. Do you want to get back on?
I do.
talk
I
about
want to
that?
get back on the crack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
as
I
Ben
saw-
said,
I saw some
it
people.
isn't what you think.
I saw some people.
Spelling it correctly?
I saw a KRAC.
No.
No. Oh, Bob Rawson over there has CRAIC.
There it is.
There it is.
CRAIC.
We're like Sesame Street.
Can
you spell
Patty
Right.
Bryce Foss had it spelled correctly.
Patsy-
Patsy.
Patsy
Pagan
Paragon
Bryce
Bryce
Foss.
Paragon,
Paragon
of
of
virtue. I love it
virtue.
to death.
Thanks for tuning in today,
Yes, thanks,
Patty.
darling.
So there's quite a few people out there. Paul Davies got it right. And what does it mean?
Well, in Gaelic, at least the way it was explained to me, and we can go on about it because it deserves a decent discussion, but it means fun. All right? That's what it means in Irish, the original Irish language, Gaelic. Irish Gaelic, it means fun. Right? Good time, something like that. That's what it
High
really means.
spirits.
It's deeper than that, but,
Yeah.
but
It's deeper than just like la-di-da.
It's just
fun.
like the
It's-
best.
Because
You know?
the crack is also conversational. When the
You
crack is
can't-
really funny
Yeah.
and a good storytelling and
Right.
good music and
And-
good when
right.
everything's like good crack.
Right, and it's like English words can do this too. You know, it has multiple meanings. It can be used as an adjective and everything,
A
every
verb.
form. Right,
Yeah.
right. If you're
Verb, noun,
if you're
adjective.
if you're known as
When
good,
two or more of you are gathered in my name. How's
there you
that?
go. If
Oh.
you're
Oh.
there you
Yeah.
go. That's right.
Yeah.
If you're good, if a person in Ireland says that you're great crack,
Oh,
that's
that
a
means-
very
yeah,
big
that's a big
compliment to
compliment.
you.
Oh, that's true.
Yep.
Or a night is good crack.
Oh yes.
Crack was mighty. The crack was 90.
I hope you'll talk about that.
Oh,
Will you
gee.
sing that song?
Oh.
I
No
once. Some of you who follow Irish music might have heard the name Paddy Riley. Well, some of us had occasion to meet him at a wake a few years back when Eugene Byrne passed.
Yep. God rest his soul.
Patty Riley came over for it, and I mentioned this song to him because I learned the song "The Crack Was 90 in the Isle of Man" from his version
Right.
with the Dubliners.
You're one of he's one of your heroes and mine too. So yep.
And he had one thing to say. He was a man of few words. And I can't give you his full quote because this is a family-friendly
That's rude.
show.
Yeah.
But all he said when I said, "I love your version," and he's like, there's a lot of beeping words in that song, and by God, he was right. Later on that same day, the poor man got the parting glass sang at him, I think against his will. By
Really?
me, you, and Dennis Duffy, by Johnny.
I'm getting this
I'm
out
not
just
sure
for,
he wanted it to happen, but it happened, by God.
getting this out just for.
All right, there are so many words in this song that I need a little cheat sheet here. And there's no chorus, and everybody else is just going to be sitting and looking. So I'm just going to do a couple of the verses.
Okay. You do whatever you
Unless I
want.
get wound up.
Yeah, we got tomorrow. We got to, we don't want to be playing this song into tomorrow.
I mean, look how many verses are in this thing. don't know if you can see them.
As Patty Riley, there's a lot of
A
words
lot
in that
of
song.
bleeping words.
That's
in this
it.
song.
Then you can make up your own as you go.
Well, you know it a bit well
I'll
enough to
help
sing
you.
along a
Sure.
bit. And it's in G, so if the whistle comes in,
If I can feel it, I'll play it.
and the drum, by God.
Well,
Here we go. This wasn't on the script, but here we go.
Why not?
The railroad stopped, spent the evening getting lost in the Ace of Hearts, where the high stools were engaging, and over the butt bridge down by the dock. She sailed at 5 o'clock. Hurry up, my lad, says Whack, or before, but there she'll all be back. Carry him if you can. Oh, the crack was 90 in the Isle of Man. Before we reached Alexander Base, the ding-dong we did surely raise in the Starling boat. Had great sport as the ship she sailed out of the port. Landed up in the Douglas Head, driving for a vacant bed. Now in room we soon got shown by a decent woman from up the road. Need boys if you can. Oh, the crack was 90 in the Isle of Man.
See, it goes by fast. That's 2 verses already, right? All right, here we go.
Next morning went for a ramble round to see the sights of Douglas town. All went in for a mighty session at a pub they called Dick Darby's. All drunk by 3:30, the sober up and swimming in the sea. Back to the digs for the spruce up while waiting for the Rosie. We all drew up our plan. Oh, the crack was 90 in the Isle of Man.
That's 3.
That night we went to the Texas bar. We came back down by horse and car. But Dick, Jim, and all went in for drinks and wine and cheatses. Liverpool Judy's, it was said, and all we found in the Douglas Head. Train was there in his tie and shirt, and there's foreign girls he's trying to flirt. 3 girls I demand. Oh, the crack was 90 in the Isle of Man.
Where the hell are we at now?
Right here.
Here we are.
Blackbird face, and he was struck.
Oh, we're getting into the Gaelic
John's
now.
up in Gaelic now.
Out to dance down the floor, they stepped it out, and the whack it was no bother. Everything's going to plan. Oh, the crack was 90 in the Isle of Man.
All right, last verse. Let's bang it out good now, right?
All right, here we go.
Man, woman, fancied whacking his face. There till his mates came back and whack. They all whacked in the whack, and whack was standing on his back. Douglas boys arrived as well, and ended up in the Douglas jail. And they laid Douglas jail until the dogs and the boat did sail. Boarded every man. Oh, the crack was 90 in the Isle of Man. Yes, the crack was 90 in the Isle of Man.
Well, we
I'll
got
say-
most of it.
There we go.
All I'll say about that is the fellow that wrote the song must have been in a hurry. Because he didn't sing the song, so
All right, folks.
That's a boy song.
Crack was 90 in the Isle of Man. There
Now,
you
just
go.
to go with that, all right. One of the things, all right, with the song, all right.
Well, that's why I told that story, so you could tell this one.
All right, about the degree, right? The crack was 90. What the heck are they talking about? Crack for one thing, all right. But if the crack has levels,
It does.
see, if the crack is 90, that's the most fun you can have, because if you get to 100, it'll kill you.
Take you right out. Jesus.
There was
All right.
Sorry, there was a question about the drum. What kind of drum are you playing, Kim?
I can't tell the joke that Patricia tells, but
Oh, wait, we've all
She
heard
does
it
a good
now.
sound
We've
with
heard
that,
it
too.
now. Now
But
we have.
Bodrin and
You've
Bodrin
heard it
and all,
now.
yeah.
By God, 40 years.
it's called I call it a baron, and it's supposed to be. I don't think this one is. It's supposed to be made of a goat skin or
that's
some kind of
Walton's.
a
That might be
skin.
goat.
Might be goat.
Usually you can tell by giving it a sniff. Whether it's goat. I'm not
Yeah.
kidding.
No,
that's,
this,
that's
right,
for
it's
real.
Big skin too.
Now, I'm going to be totally honest, and this is not just me being humble. I'm terrible at this. So if you were at an Irish session and seeing an actual barroom player play, you would know how terrible I am. So people come up and ask me if I will give lessons and stuff, and I was like, you also can learn on YouTube. But that what I do suits the band, and that's all that's necessary. So there you go. That's not just me being.
Kim,
She
when
is
you,
being pretty humble.
when you play it, do you enjoy it?
Yeah,
That's
no,
all that matters.
I'm all
That's
happy,
that
but
matters.
you know
You're
what?
having
Now,
fun. You're
I'm
That's
now,
right,
I'm
that's
now
the
playing
truth,
for,
is it not?
I'm now playing for the masses.
Right,
You know.
but it's
No,
but it's
you're playing for yourself. And I play for myself, and if I'm having a good time, somebody enjoys it, fine. If they don't like it, I don't care.
It suits the band. It's all that matters.
So someone asked if this is a huge bottle of Tullamore Dew on the table.
It
Yes,
was.
it is.
It was.
Now, it did not start off full
No,
today.
not today.
No.
Not today.
No. It was
Patrick's
relative-
doing a
Well,
hell of
we're
a
trying to
job.
finish it off, you know.
We are celebrating, but no, not quite that heartily.
So we've covered what an Irish session is, and they are a lot of different things. I mentioned briefly the stories, and I'm hoping we get into a little bit of storytelling here today, because you've got some people on stage here, not so much myself, but Patrick Boyle over here and Tyler Foss, Kim Starling come from a long line of...
We're all related.
They
the
are
three of
all
us,
related, there's that, and they all come from the area, or the very center of a town called Dover, New Hampshire, that was just right nearby, a few miles away, was founded in 1623.
Yep.
A hell of a long time ago, going up
Yep.
on 400
400 years.
We're
Yeah,
about
we
to
have a
have
mighty
the 400th
celebration.
celebration.
400 years.
Colleen Sheehy years getting on that committee.
Oh,
Yep.
jeez.
Oh, sure. She'll kill me
It's
for
going to
saying
be a
that.
thing.
But I'm very happy to say, okay, we've got good friends, all right, who are family members.
From
As
abroad.
Imports
Right.
From away.
That's
From away,
right.
That's where
Yeah.
I'm from.
our friend Nick, lots of it. You know what I mean? You're all family.
By
We
next week, we'll
whether you
have...
like it or not, you're family.
We'll have the producer's camera back, one way or another, so you can see old Nick over there. Much fancier digs than in the old Juke Shack stage. So, Dover, New Hampshire, we'll get in hopefully to talking a little bit more about how all of you are related, talking a little bit more about the greenhouse that this flag came from.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier.
You're-
That's a
Prince Charles of
Yep.
Boyle gave me this flag.
You're
several
blessed
years
now,
back.
boy.
Let me tell you, it took a few washings to get it to this
What?
stage.
well, it's a battle flag, you know.
I was going to say, that looks pretty clean. Jesus.
That had been up the pole a few times. Let's just say that.
There's a song in that. That's been up the pole.
Let's keep this clean.
Anyway.
all right. Family show, folks. Family. Yeah, if we start singing some of the songs from the greenhouse, I think we'll lose our rating
Oh,
pretty
boy.
quick.
Oh, yeah.
Facebook will shut us off.
Patrick, would you do one for us?
What the hell is it?
Jug a punch.
I would. One pleasant evening in the month of June, as I was sitting with my glass and spoon, a small bird sat on an ivy bunch, and the song he sang was the jug of punch. Tooraloo-raloo, tooraloo-ralay, tooraloo-raloo, tooraloo-ralay. A small bird sat on an ivy bunch, and the song he sang was the jug of punch. What more diversion can a man desire than to sit him down by an alehouse fire? Upon his knee a pretty wench, aye, and on the table a jug of punch. Tooraloo-raloo, tooraloo-ralay, tooraloo-raloo, tooraloo-ralay. Upon his knee a pretty wench, aye, and on the table a jug of punch. What? Let's see. Went on.
Are we up to doctor already?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Let the doctors come with them.
On me on stone. Well, I have the last one. Lay me down in my native peat with a jug of punch at my head and feet. And tooraloo-raloo, tooraloo-ralay, tooraloo-raloo, tooraloo-ralay. Just lay me down in my native peat with a jug of punch at my head and feet. Get the shortened edition.
Yeah, that's the abbreviated. But that's all right.
No,
you know.
you're better at the Gaelic
No
than him.
worries.
Well, that's the thing when you're singing sometimes the ones you know the best are the hardest ones to remember. You've sung them 100 times or 1,000 times or however many
Well,
times.
you know, to go back just a wee bit here, you know, talking about the session and all, you know, and I think that's, you know, people are afraid to do some things at sessions. You really need to go, all right, and be unafraid, because
Yeah.
it's like, you know, look, when you're riding the bike, there's going to be times when you fall off, you know, but you don't get used to this stuff, and you know, but everybody wants to hear you. At least I want to hear what people have to do and say. You know what I mean? At the sessions, whether it's a song, whether it's a story, whether it's a step of the dance or something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, all right, be unafraid.
And that goes for, you know, what most of the people tuned in are interested in are cigar box guitars and homemade instrument building. You know, trying new things. You don't have to wait for somebody to tell you should.
Right.
Or to tell you that you can, or that it's okay. You try it and see if it works. And the same goes for getting out there and playing the instruments you build. Don't worry if you're doing it right. Don't worry if it sounds like it should be in Carnegie Hall. If you're having fun, you're doing it right.
That's right.
You build what you play what you love, and by God, everything will work out. So a quick shout out. I just want to thank all of you for tuning in. Janice Wilson Hughes out there, Rick Flink. I'm seeing a lot of names and people going by and a lot of thumbs up and hearts. So we want to thank you for watching today. I'm having fun.
I'm having a ball.
You know, it could be a whole lot worse. We could.
The crack's working on 90. Go ahead.
It's approaching. We're around, I think, the mid-70s at the moment. And
You're moving up.
it's going up every minute. And we can say
Going down and I'm going up.
something's happening. But hey, you can't see, but right behind the camera that's pointing at us is a window, and out that window there is blue sky and sunlight.
That's right.
It is not snowing, and that's something to be thankful for. The way this winter
Yeah,
is going.
especially our winter
Shining
here.
the mighty Michigan.
All right, Kim, you want to lead us on one? Right on.
Oh my.
Our own Patrick launches this one off.
I stole this song from Patrick when I first joined the band. He used to sing this song, and he did a lovely job. But one day I finally confessed that I was being called that it might be a song for me.
I've been
And
called.
he's lovely. He always asks me to sing it. He's never looked back.
You couldn't do it without me.
Well,
It
you
wouldn't
brought
be
it
as
to
good
me.
without
You
me.
brought it to me, so I'm
Well,
thankful
this
for
is
that.
my first time trying to play the guitar along with this intro, so
Okay.
Oh,
I'm not going to screw it up.
No pressure.
True, you ride the finest horse I've ever seen, standing 16, 1 or 2, with eyes wild and green. You ride the horse so well, hands light to the touch. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to. When you ride into the night without a trace behind, run your hand across my cheek. One last time, I turn to face an empty space where you
I wanted to.
I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to.
Very, very nice.
Right on.
Hey, we don't suck it.
That was all right.
You did fine.
The immortal words of
You did
himself.
fine.
Who wrote
Yeah,
one of the verses
third
of
verse
that.
of that
Yeah,
song.
That's
yeah,
right.
That's
That's
right,
right.
Jimmy Houghton. Thank you very much.
That's
You
right.
needed a third.
Shout out to James.
Whoop.
All right, well, here we all are then. So this seems like a good enough time as any to talk a little bit about the greenhouse. It was mentioned earlier. Some of us will be stopping by there tomorrow, because if you don't know, tomorrow is of course St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, and in the town of Dover, New Hampshire, there are usually a lot of doings and goings on.
It's a very Irish city.
It is. Actually, that was earlier on the list then, the greenhouse was talking about. We'll get to the greenhouse, folks. Don't worry. Nothing heavy cut up, but we're going to get there. But the Irish heritage in Dover and in this area, in fact, this old mill building that we sit in right now was a woolen mill. They processed wool here and wove it. Oh, we should do the weavers.
There you go.
Yeah, well,
Keep talking.
we'll do that next. Anyway,
Yep. That's
the,
fine.
the weaving and the processing of wool happened here. Now at this mill, I've been told it was a mix, roughly half and half, of French
French? Is that-
immigrants and Irish.
Yes.
So this mill was a mixing of the French and the Irish.
French Canadian.
French Canadian?
Yes.
Yes.
Not ha,
Not-
but French Canadian.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
No,
So,
right.
down through.
And the mills in Dover as well.
French
Oh,
Canadian.
absolutely.
A lot of French
Oh,
Canadian.
tremendous,
Okay.
yeah.
I
In
thought the
Quebec?
mills in Dover were mostly Irish.
No, it was a mixture.
Yes and no. It was a mixture. Yeah.
It
No,
was,
but-
it was a mix of cheap labor. That's what it
Whoever
was.
was
Yes.
cheapest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And no, and the French Canadians here, as you know, I mean, you know, your beloved Don is from Maine. You know what I mean? A big
Oh, yeah.
thing for the French
Quebecois.
Canadians in this whole area, really.
Yeah.
You know, but all right, don't let me get you too far
No,
off topic,
that's all
but-
part of it's all part of it, because the Irish, a lot of Irish settled here to work in the mills all through
Yes.
New England, Boston and Lawrence and Lowell, and all through this area to work in the mills.
Right.
That's right.
Now to that end, specifically, I know in Dover, and I think it's fairly well-known history. All right, there were Irish women in particular who were brought from the north of Ireland and from our own area.
And
All right, where we hail from,
Our
who
people.
were skilled weavers, and they were brought here for that specific purpose,
Yeah.
and they were well paid from everything I gathered. All right, and pretty well treated all the way around. You know what I mean? And that was part of what, and the reason that the woolen mill old owners asked and brought them over was because they knew, these people are very highly skilled. We don't have to
They've
train
been
them.
weaving for a long time.
Right,
Yeah.
and we can really get some things going here. So that was a while ago.
It turns out there's a song dedicated to the weavers, and it seems very appropriate to sing and play that song in this mill. This part we're in right now was built in 1865. At the end of the Civil War, they added this along the river part on, and there was weaving and all sorts of stuff going on here. So for all the people who worked here over the years, well,
Especially our people.
yeah,
Well,
could
I
be
just-
some family,
Oh, I'm
some
sure there is.
distant
I'd like to
relations.
speak up on the behalf of women that down in the Cheeky Mills in Dover was the first workers' strike that was done by women.
Ooh.
It was the first all-women's strike, labor strike in
And-
the United States.
And possibly by anybody. You know what I mean?
Yes.
An organized strike. Right.
And it kind of sparked off. It was during the labor organization time,
Yes.
the late 1800s.
Yes, exactly.
And down in Lowell, Mass, and Lawrence, some bigger strikes happened.
Yep.
Yeah, because the dust from the wool, the average lifespan of the women working in those
And the children.
rooms and the
And
children
Right. They didn't have any
Was-
child labor laws and none of those
was
things. Yep.
horribly low. I mean, like 28 or something was the average lifespan because the dust from the.
They were working 10-hour days, 6 days a week. The only day off they got was Sunday.
Yep.
Until the unions got a Saturday off, you know, in a 40-hour work week.
So
But
let's
anyway,
sing a song in
But it
their
was the
own
women
way.
that
The women
sparked
start-
it, started it. God bless them.
God.
We're all here together to sit and to crack. Our glasses in our hand and our work upon our back. There's many a trade among 'em that can mend or can mack. If it wasn't for the work of the weavers, if it wasn't for the weavers, what would you do? You wouldn't hear a coat that's made of wool. You wouldn't hear a coat or the black or the blue if it wasn't for the work of the weavers. The soldiers and the sailors, the glaziers and all, the doctors and the ministers, and them that live the law, and them in South America, though them we never saw, but we hear they hear the work of the weavers. If it wasn't for the weavers, what would you do? You wouldn't hear a coat that's made of wool. You wouldn't hear a coat or the black or the blue if it wasn't for the work of the weavers. Now weaving is a trade that never can fail, as long as we need clothes for to keep another hail. So let us all be merry and a picker of good ale, and we'll drink to the health of the weavers. If it wasn't for the weavers, what would you do? You wouldn't hear a coat that's made of wool. You wouldn't hear a coat or the black or the blue if it wasn't for the work of the weavers. If it wasn't for the weavers, what would you do? You wouldn't hear a coat that's made of wool. You wouldn't hear a coat or the black or the blue if it wasn't for the work of the weavers. There, we did them justice.
That-
That's pretty good.
God bless the weavers.
I'd like to say that we had no rehearsal, the four of us.
Well, we didn't really.
Well,
No.
no.
Not
But
much.
it turns out we've been doing this for a lot of years.
Well, it's just
The
knocking
instinct
the
kicks
dust
in,
off.
yeah.
It does. Some of it, it becomes muscle memory after a while. But what I wanted to ask was, how did all of you people get to singing together in the first place anyway?
Well, Tyler and I have been
You want to
singing
get
together.
into the whole family history or what?
Right
Well,
back
look,
into
Well,
the...
Tyler and I have been singing together since I was a teenager, kid.
this-
We're closely related,
We-
and at family things we would end up singing.
So
things
there was
a
always
cappella.
singing in the family gatherings?
Yes.
I seriously, I remember the first time that I ever heard Kim Starling sing. She was 5 years old.
Oh, now I'm
We
gonna
were-
cry.
Yeah, sorry.
I've never heard
All
this
right,
story.
no,
10
we
years
were-
ago, wasn't
oh,
it?
yeah.
God.
We were at camp, all right, and I don't know why, but she was at the camp that we rented. Uh-oh. All right. and-
don't lose it.
Uh-oh,
Get it
I'm-
shut.
I'm wrecking the house. I'm wrecking the house.
Just-
All right.
just
Anyway,
scoot forward
but
a
my
little
family, okay, my family rented. All right.
Here, hold my
Anyway,
guitar.
Kim was up visiting. Uh-oh.
This is a good story.
Oh, I'm wrecking the whole house here. Anyway, so here's Kim Starling. She's out on the porch of this place that we had. And I have no idea what song it was she was singing, but I was in awe. I was absolutely in awe that this 5-year-old girl is singing, and I'm just going. It was just that's not some whacked memory. That's the God's honest truth. That's the first time I ever heard you sing, and it was absolutely fabulous. I've never been unimpressed since that time. But that's the bond that we have, right? You know, and we've been able to develop it. Now, sorry. Now you
This guy.
tell us if you will.
Well,
give us some.
We're all
Try to
related.
top that.
We're all related through the Greens. My mother, not my mother, my grandmother, my father's mother, was a Green, and I think she was one of the singing Green sisters or
Right.
something back.
Singing Greens.
That's talking 100 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Truth, though.
anyways, that's the singing that we do that runs through the family is from the Green side of the family.
That's right.
Yes.
And that's true. And My father was a singer. My Aunt Molly was a singer. And my Aunt Molly and Sarah Macomb were sisters. You couldn't tell the difference between them singing. And oh my God, I was raised with this music, you know what I mean? And
Well, Patrick's Aunt Sarah Macomb was, I don't want to say discovered, that's not the right word, but
She's a renowned.
well, was it the 50s or the 60s?
40s.
The
She
40s.
was on a BBC radio show. They used to come to her house and BB radios would have her sing
Right.
for a radio show during the 40s.
But besides a singer, she is known for having a vast catalog of songs
That she
that
knows.
people came from all over to,
Well,
To
when,
hear
learn.
her.
when
Right,
the
and learn,
collectors,
right.
I don't think it was Alan Lomax, but the collectors of folk songs went
Diane
over.
Hamilton, Pete Seeger.
Yes,
They all-
Pete
they-
Seeger.
They all came to Katy to listen to my Aunt Sarah sing
That's right.
the song.
And
Right.
that's where we're all from.
And
Yeah.
it helped them discovering the songs that she knew and sang, helped launch the folk revival in the 1960s.
That was just
That's a
on-
fact.
And, well, I was
Oh,
getting
yeah,
to
yeah,
that, I'm getting to that, see?
okay, I can see we're building up to it,
Because
but
your first cousin,
yes.
your aunt's son, Tommy Macomb, along with the Clancy brothers, really took on that idea of gathering up the old songs, the old Irish traditional songs over in Ireland, brought them to America, and were a big part of the folk revival that later launched the careers of people like Bob Dylan and Joan Baez and many others. In fact,
Odetta.
Patrick Clancy, whom your cousin Tommy sang and
Yeah.
toured with, got Bob Dylan his first paid gig in New York City playing harmonica.
That's right.
Wow.
He was known as Bobby Zimmerman back then.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. Yeah.
God bless all of you.
So music has run in the blood that flows in these veins.
As
For
Tommy Macon would say, it run through the family like a wooden leg.
But
That's
He had a lot of good
I stole that
sayings.
from Rory.
the first time I went to Ireland, we gathered with some cousins that live in Katy, and my cousin Denise began to sing, and it was the first time it dawned on me that singing was not just like a thing I did in high school in choir, that it ran,
Yeah.
that it
Ran through the
that it
family
was,
like
yeah,
a wooden leg.
it was a real, it was
Yes,
a,
yes.
it
I
was a
love
big
that.
moment for me.
I never-
Now,
Folks
wait,
probably know that. That was absolutely
What was the
genuine.
exact quote again?
Run through the family like a wooden
It
leg.
runs through the family like a
family.
wooden leg. Singing runs through the family like a wooden leg.
Wooden leg named Smith.
In fact, there's a song about that too. That one.
Oh.
And Tommy Baker wrote that song about the woman with
All right,
the wooden
now,
leg.
people don't know what we're talking about.
Yes.
All right. So
Focus us.
that's just a tiny sampling of the stories that could be told.
What can go on in a session? And
Right,
just
yeah, exactly.
sometimes they'll have a
Especially
hand
when
in-
most of the people are related to each other. Well, I just want to say that I discovered Irish music through the music of Tommy Macomb and the Clancy brothers, which to me still, not everyone agrees, but I still feel that's kind of the definitive version of what Irish music is. So when my wife and I moved down here to New Hampshire from Maine, and I started going to things around here in Dover, and I went and you guys were playing at Kelly's Row when they were downtown by the falls there,
Yeah.
and I was like, holy crap, this is what I've been looking for.
You really
There you
enjoyed it.
go.
Yeah, and here we are today.
Here we are.
You got whiskey in the jar in you there, good sir.
You're the dibble.
Now you might know this one. It's been recorded by all sorts of people. I think Thin Lizzy did it, Metallica, The Grateful Dead, in addition to pretty much every Irish singer ever.
So if you know it at home, sing along.
Sing along.
As I was going over the far-famed Derry Mountain, I met with Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. At first produced my pistol and I then produced my rapier, saying stand and deliver, for you are a bold deceiver. With your ring-a-the-doo-la-da-da, whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
We forgot to mention this is an audience participation song.
Oh, yeah,
Clap
darn it.
along. Patrick
Yeah.
will show you when to clap.
I'll hear you. Wherever
It
you
is in C if you want to get into it.
yeah.
Here you go.
There
Sorry
we go.
for the
No
interruption.
worries. Well, I counted out his money, and it made a pretty penny. I put it in my pocket, and I took it home to Jenny. She smiled and she swore that she never would deceive me. But the devil take the women, for they never can ease me. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I went into my chamber, all for to take a slumber. I dreamt of gold and jewels, and for sure it was no wonder. But Jenny drew me charging, and she filled them up with water. Then sent for Captain Farrell to get ready for the slaughter. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Next morning, bright and early, just before I rose to travel, up comes a band of footmen, and likewise Captain Farrell. I first produced my pistol, for she'd stolen away me rapier. I couldn't shoot the water, though a prisoner I was taken. A stirring of the doo-da-da-dee. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Oh, the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Now there's some take delight in the carriages a-rolling, and others take delight in the hurling and the bowling. But I take delight in the juice of the barley, and courting pretty fair maids in the morning, bright and early. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
Woo!
This thing's right off.
Oh, mercy. I gotta make sure this guitar's
Thanks,
still in
Scott.
tune. I put 2 new strings on this guitar earlier. I haven't checked its tuning once since we got going. What you got over there, Nick? Oh, Tyler Foss.
Oh,
Sorry.
No, do you want one?
Oh,
I was looking to refill the stage.
Pass it over
All right,
here.
here we go.
Whoa!
because you see, the experienced ones carry a bottle opener on their keychain.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, buddy.
Ben, do you need one?
Well, you know, since you was up,
Stout or Belgian?
the wet kind. I'm very
Partial.
Look at that. Look at that.
see, I'm telling you, the ones who know carry an opener on their keychain. Well, again,
Can we
still
use
streaming?
Yeah.
oh yeah, we're still
good,
live.
good, good.
Oh,
This,
yeah.
this is
Good.
still happening.
They're just watching
And
us
I
do
saw
this.
that our own Mara Byrne
Mara
chimed in out
Byrne.
there. Mara
Oh, no,
Byrne,
no, no, no.
We
I
were
don't
just
care about that.
mentioning
I just
Eugene
wanna thank
earlier.
you, bro.
You're
Right?
welcome.
I don't know. Do we know any Eugene's signature songs? Anything that he would do?
Molly Malone.
I wish I knew. Oh yeah, we do know one.
Yeah, why don't we do
I
Molly
was-
in honor
I
of
was-
himself?
Well, and here's why it's in honor of him. He wanted it sung at his funeral, and the priest said no. And,
don't get me going on that subject.
It's all right.
So,
We sang it after,
Well,
and we're singing it today.
Well, we don't have to do it.
he sang a song that I still need to learn. I wish I knew it right now. Is if your house burns down, you'll have a better
love
view
that
of
song.
the
Yeah,
moon.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I like that song.
Yeah.
Can't even remember how the melody
No.
goes at this point. But. All right.
Are we in B flat?
Hey, Don, Mrs. Gitty Baker in the house there.
I don't know if I'm going to see you guys tomorrow or not, so I just wanted to say hi.
It's good to see you today, Don.
Oh, okay.
God knows we don't know if we'll be here tomorrow. So
Love you.
Guys, you never know.
You never
heart's
know.
blood.
B flat?
Yes.
No.
Is that too slow?
Ah, that's nice.
God bless you, Eugene, wherever you are.
England's fair city, where the girls are so pretty. I first laid my eyes on sweet Molly Malone, and she wheeled the wheelbarrow through streets broad died of a fever, and no one could save her. That was the end of sweet Molly Malone. Now her ghost wheels her barrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh.
There you go.
I think we did justice to this one. It's beautiful.
He once told
Eugene
me,
Byrne.
Eugene Byrne once told me I was nervous about going on stage at the first reinvigorated Irish festival in Dover. It had had several years of dormancy, and this one helped bring it back. And I'm out standing there nervous, like there's too many people out there. How am I going to go out there on that stage and play music at those people? And Eugene said, it's just like being at a session. There's just more heads. I said, you know, my God, you're right. Right. And out there I went and played
Okay.
some songs too slow and some songs too fast. And
Well, and the funny thing is,
It all happened.
if he had done Molly Malone just now, it would have been like the rock version of Molly Malone.
But
I
with
once
the
did
spoken part.
Yeah, I once for dramatic effect, exactly. I once turned to him and said, "What are we, Ike and Tina? What's going on here?"
God bless them. God, I love them. I love you still.
Oh yeah.
All right, Patrick.
I'll try to get it right this time.
Which one?
I don't know.
We're
you
not
tell
doing
me.
Jug a Punch again.
No. I still
Holy
can't
Grail?
remember that.
Well, we did.
Oh.
Didn't
Wanna try
we
the
do
Holy
that
Grail?
earlier? Or that was during
No.
rehearsal.
We were warming up.
All right. Well, that's
But this
all right.
man,
Give me a minute. Give me a minute. This
pressure,
one,
pressure, pressure.
this
Reads it
requires
wonderfully.
going up
Under
into
pressure.
the stratosphere here of. Well, this is serious,
I think
folks.
this requires this.
The talent
Not that it
adjuster
makes a
is in
difference, but
place.
what key are we in?
I love
C.
you.
Okay. Very well, my lovely Dinah, 1,000 times or two. We are going away from the holy ground, and the girls we all love true. We will sail the salt sea over, and we'll return for shore to see again the girls we love at the holy ground once more. Fine girl you are, you're the girl I do adore, and still I live in hopes to see the holy ground once more. Fine girl you are. And now the storm is raging, and we are far from shore, and the good old ship is tossing about, and the rigging is all tore. And the secret of my love, you're the girl I do adore. And see till see again the holy ground once more. Fine girl you are, you're the girl I do adore. Still I live in hopes to see the holy ground once more. Fine girl you are! Now the storm is over, and we are safe and well. We will go into a public house, and we'll sit and drink our fill. We will drink strong ale and porter, and we'll make the rafters roar. And when our money is all spent, we will go to sea once more. Fine girl you are, you're the girl I do adore. Still I live in hopes to see the holy ground once more. Fine girl you are! And we won't go into where the holy ground was.
Oh.
But
or what it was.
You told them at Province Lake the other week, divine God.
Well, it was
That was
the
a
red
different-
light
that
district
was a
in
different
Dublin.
crowd.
It was the red light district in Dublin,
Yeah.
and that's where the holy girls dwelled. God bless them all.
Holy-
And that song was written by Christian brothers too, so that
Wow.
ought to tell you something.
It did.
Oh, see, I missed that story of Province Lake. I just heard you. I just felt you react to it, and I was like,
Oh,
you
there it
just
is.
said something.
And a shout, right, and a shout out to those folks because
Ah.
they've had tragedy fall
Seriously.
upon them. So when they rebuild, please go back to see them. All right, we loved playing there. All right, and we will play there again. All right, but unfortunately they had a terrible
Terrible fire.
fire.
We were,
To
the
the
last,
ground.
we were the last band to play there.
They were. And there we were, setting up in front of the fire door and saying, Jesus, I hope there's not a fire.
Right.
I was kind of hoping that if it had to happen, it would have happened the night we played, because we could have been singing the old down cow caught fire.
Nick knows that song.
Now, we're Irish.
The old down cow, that's a great
I
song.
love that's a Eugene.
Somebody
Burns song.
shouted McIntyre.
McIntyre.
Now listen,
I
people.
was just mentioning that in the comments.
Do you want to come
Sure.
up and sing it?
Oh,
sure.
Because I've got to take
Uh-oh.
a brief...
All right, Kim wants
All
to
right.
say something.
We're Irish, so we tend to make light of tragedy.
We
We're not
do.
making light of the fire.
No.
No,
It's a
No.
terrible tragedy.
right.
Yes.
But
But
it's a group of people, you know, the Irish have a song called Look at the Coffin, celebrating being dead.
Now I'm.
And some have been known to sing at graveside.
Oh,
And get a
funerals.
standing ovation.
Yeah,
That's
get a
right.
standing
We're
ovation
Irish.
at a
That's
funeral.
what we believe in making light of.
So we're going to bring
Oh,
our
we're
own,
gonna live again.
our own
You know?
Nick up to sing the old dun cow. He knows it cold.
Oh, wow.
I'm going
God,
to run briefly to take care of some business.
All right, you go
And I'll
take
be
care of
back.
business. And
You're making room for the next one, are you?
the great Viking is coming to see us. All right?
Come on.
Another one of the
Okay,
invaders of
all right.
Ireland. Here he comes.
Okay.
All right? And he's become one of our own.
All right. This is my first time in front of the camera on a live broadcast.
No.
No.
No,
Come
it's
on.
not. I know.
Not by a long shot.
Now, Tyler, do you know...
I can only help him with it.
Help.
All right, yeah.
All
But
right, well...
give a little background
It is
behind
what
the
it is,
song.
go.
If you
I
mind.
don't know as much of the background.
That's fine.
as
Okay.
that.
But it's called the old dun cow. Now,
Oh, wait a
a
minute,
dun
corner there.
cow.
I'll get that one corner.
I
I'll
think
be
it's
all
about the color of the cow. Okay, but look, I you know like pubs and places of such in the United States. All right, they'll have names. All right, some of them colorful, but this was the name of a pub. All right, in a
Right.
town in Ireland, it was called the Dun Cow.
Down
So,
cow.
yeah.
Down.
Oh, it is.
The dung
Oh, I
pile.
thought it was
You know
dun.
the dung
D-U-N.
pile?
Oh, the dung pile. All right.
I think.
All right. Well, this is a story, all right, of the night that this particular establishment.
Yeah,
Caught on fire.
They caught on fire.
Right.
Wouldn't you know it that I forget the first line in the song that would kick me off?
Oh, let me see.
Oh no, stage fright, aren't I? It starts off with right. I've sang it a million times.
Yeah, right. We can't get the first line here. Okay. Now let's-
Tom Browning high in the local pub, playing dominoes one night, when all of a sudden in the postman rushed, his face all chalky white. It's up, said Brown, have you seen a ghost? Have you seen your Auntie Moriah? Well, me Aunt Moriah be blown, says he, the bloody pub's on fire. There was Brown, upside down, he was mopping up the whiskey on the floor. Booze, booze, the fireman cried as they came knocking at the door. Oh, don't let 'em in till it's all mopped up. Somebody shouted, McIntyre! McIntyre! And we all got blue, blind, paralytic drunk when the old dun cow caught fire. On fire, says Brown, what a bit of luck. Everybody follow me. Down to the cellar where the fire ain't there. We'll have a gay old spree. So we all went down with good old Brown, the beer we could not miss. And we hadn't been but 10 minutes there till we were bloody pissed. There was Brown, upside down, he was mopping up the whiskey on the floor. Booze, booze, the fireman cried as they came knocking at the door. Oh, don't let 'em in till it's all mopped up. Somebody shouted, McIntyre, McIntyre. And we all got flu, blind, paralytic drunk when the old dun cow caught fire. Jones did rush to the port wine tub, gave it just a few hard knocks. Sort of taking off his pantaloons, likewise his shoes and socks. Hey, what's up, said Brown, if you want to wash your feet, there's a tub of booze down here. Don't wash your trousers in the port wine tub when there's lots of Tyler's beer.
Yeah.
There was Brown, upside down, he was mopping up the whiskey on the floor.
Booze, booze, the fireman cried as they came knocking at the door. Oh, don't let him in till it's all mopped up. Somebody shouted, McIntyre, McIntyre.
And we all got blue, blind, paralytic drunk when the old dun cow caught fire. All of a sudden, there's a bloody big bang. Half the flaming roof gave away.
No.
And we were drowned in the fireman's hose, but we're all still going gay. So we grabbed some tacks and some old tin scraps and boarded ourselves inside. And we kept on drinking good old scotch till we were bleary-eyed. Oh, there was Brown, upside down, he was mopping up the whiskey on the floor. Booze, booze, the fireman cried as they came knocking at the door. Oh, don't let him in till it's all mopped up. Somebody shouted, McIntyre, McIntyre. And we all got blue, blind, paralytic drunk when the old dung cow caught fire.
Nicely
Not
done.
bad for getting the first line of the song. Thank you,
No,
sir.
one of the first songs I ever heard of
Now, this
Eugene
is
Burke.
becoming a real session. Now,
I tell
It
you what.
really is. This is a mighty session. The crack's pushing on 90.
Yeah.
Well over 80.
Hold on to yourselves. From whom do we get the term "hold on to your onion"?
Larry Chum.
Chum.
Oh,
Right.
and that's a shout out to the great man himself. Lithoxis.
Yeah. He was sitting next to McGee at the time.
Now, Tyler Foss, I have a gift for you.
Ooh, a
Frosties.
gift.
This
Whoa.
guitar.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, we're going this way. Are we?
That's a nice gift, it is.
All right. Tyler's going to lead us in a good old Irish rebel song,
That's the one.
Key of D. So somehow Patrick already knew what was heading into here.
Oh, come tell me, Sean O'Farrell, tell me why you hurry so. Let me bugle, hush and listen, and his cheeks were all aglow. I bear orders from the captain, get you ready quick and soon. For the pikes must be together by the rising of the moon. By the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. And the pikes must be together by the rising of the moon. Oh, come tell me, Sean O'Farrell, where the gathering is to be. In the old spot by the river, right well known to you and me. One word more for signal token, whistle up the marching tune. Be a pike upon your shoulder by the rising of the moon. By the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. Well, you pike upon your shoulder by the rising of the moon. Out of many a mud wall cabin, as we're watching through the night, many a manly heart was throbbing for the coming morning light. Murmurs ran along the valleys like a banshee's lonely croon, and 1,000 blades were flashing by the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon, and 1,000 blades were flashing by the rising of the moon.
Along that singing river. There it is.
All along that singing river, that dark mass of men was seen. High above their shining weapons hung their own beloved queen. Death to every foe and traitor, forward striking her argent too. And her army boys for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon. on that tree, but that's fine. Thank you so much for allowing me to mess up the entire show.
No.
It's a great session. This is really special.
Well, I see a lot of thumbs up and hearts and likes and such going by.
Thank you,
you
guys.
all for tuning in. We
Happy
Thank you
St.
very,
Patrick's
very much.
Day.
yeah,
Yes.
you might have noticed by now that we're kind of
Partial to
here
St.
here
Patrick's
for
Day.
ourselves and having a good time. But we're
Hope y'all
glad
enjoyed it, 'cause
we're
we're having
glad
a
that
great
you're
time.
out there too.
No,
Wish y'all could be
no,
here.
we
But
really
it's-
love that.
It's morphed into us just having fun together,
Yeah,
which
this is-
often happens.
Yes, it does.
And that's when things get the best.
The great thing about technology like this is you don't need to be in the same room to have a full session with 60 some odd people.
And
out
isn't
there.
that really, truly
That's
a
right.
beautiful thing?
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
that something?
More
All right,
heads.
that we can reach out and touch
We've
any
played to
the
a lot
whole
less than
world
60 in our
and
day.
beyond.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
Well, I have a request.
Oh,
And I'm
He's
gonna
looking me in the eye like,
That's
yeah,
it.
you must know this one.
There you go.
no, if you don't know this one, my God.
I better go home now.
I'm gonna try not to screw up the chords. But it's one written by your first cousin there, Mr. Tommy Makem,
Ah.
about Ireland and its 4 green fields. You got some words to say first?
Why don't you-
Feel free to say words.
Well,
Tell a little bit about it, Patrick.
I believe that the woman in the song refers to Ireland. And the 4 green fields are the 4 provinces of Ireland. And I'll just keep it at that. I don't want to get technically involved here. I'll be here speaking all day. But it goes quite something like this. What did I have? Said the fine old woman. What did I have? This proud old woman did say I had 4 green fields. Each one was a jewel. Strangers came and tried to take them from me. I had 5 strong sons. They fought to save my jewel. They fought and died. And that was my grief, said she. Long time ago, said the fine old woman. Long time ago, this proud old woman did say there was war and death, plundering and pillage my children's heart. By mountain, valley, and sea, and their wailing cries, they shook the very heavens. My 4 green fields ran red with their blood, said she. What have I now? Said the fine old woman. What have I now? This proud old woman did say, I have for the green field. One of them's in bondage in strangers' hands that tried to take them from me, but my sons have sons as brave as were their fathers. My fourth green field will bloom once again, said she. Thank you.
Patrick
Boyle.
Glenn Baker.
You'd be hard pressed to find somebody to do it better than that. I double dog
God
dare
bless you.
Oh, I
You
knew
make
one
them
man
for
that
bringing
could
us
do
a
it better
song.
than that.
Well,
That's it.
But I do the best I can with it, you know what I mean?
Jay, somebody's
Well, that's
gotta,
a piece of what we're
somebody's
doing.
gotta do
You know,
it
that's a
for-
piece of what we're doing today. It really is. Okay, it really is. It's paying this forward. It's bringing this along. All right. It's keeping the crack going. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do this stuff.
Speaking of which, look who we got out there.
Who's that?
Sheila Duffy Moon.
Sheila Duffy
oh,
Moon.
Jesus.
Sending out
Wow.
her she says, great job, Patrick and crew. Thank you, Sheila.
But that's what
Patrick
See you
and
tomorrow.
Who the hell?
that's what you know. That's what all this is about. Is about keeping this alive. All right. And now to talk about CB Gitty
Are we
itself.
getting into the passion?
Oh, we've already got the passion. It's
thought we were gonna hear
it's a
about the
flaming
Oh,
conflagrant.
that
You know
comes
what
up
I
in a
mean?
couple weeks of passion. Doesn't it? A couple weeks we do that.
Well, let me tell you, let me interrupt. Tomorrow, we have two young people that are dying to get on our stage with us.
Bring 'em on.
One is only 5.
And heavy
Bring 'em on.
One is only
Five,
5.
we know about it. We heard about those
She's
people.
only 5, and then his grandson is coming up. So we are moving.
Yeah.
We're passing it on.
It may
That's
seem
it.
like
We
the
didn't-
generation
if we
is
don't
not
pass
paying
it on, what
attention,
the hell
but we
do we
are
want
passing
for?
it on.
Right, and this is something, himself over here, my great friend, all right, and relation, all right, and over here too. We've talked about this, more than we probably should. But anyway, it's about
on.
keeping this going,
Right.
all right? And it's because it's a beautiful thing. It's a really beautiful thing. It's about loving people and loving life and loving the music.
Heritage.
Remembering
It
your
is.
history and just
Yeah.
and really, but when it comes
That
down
doesn't
to
taste
it,
the maple in it.
well, I was wondering what was actually in that flask.
I bet it's Crown Royal maple.
You think?
I don't know.
That could be.
They could taste it. They taste it.
Isn't it
No,
the
no,
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 you know
stuck
what
it.
this is? I'll
But
tell you what this is.
getting locked.
It tastes like maples.
That's Jameson with a touch of butterscotch schnapps.
There we go.
It's his own brew.
I
For
think.
Christ's sakes now. Jesus Christ.
That's a
We'll take-
concoction, shall we say?
So Tyler Foss,
Yeah. What was
Since-
Oh, don't be scared now. Go. There you go.
since we're in the mood, how about whiskey or the devil?
Okay.
Oh, we did whiskey in the jar. I'm like, did
Oh,
we
wait a
already
minute.
do that?
Where is that?
Was it going to be in D? I thought, no, C. Key of C, folks.
Oh, whiskey, you're the devil.
You're leading me astray over hills and mountains and to America. You're sweeter, stronger, decenter, you're spunky, you're nutty. Oh, whiskey, you're me darling, drunk or sober.
Well, now, boy, we're up a marching up to Portugal and Spain. The drums are beating, banners flying, the Nicolau will come to fare thee well.
When me tiddly and loo-la-ma-da, me tiddly and loo-la-ma-da, me right foot to a laddie, oh, there's whiskey in the jar. Oh, whiskey, you're the devil, you're leading me astray over hills and mountains and to America. You're sweeter, stronger, decenter, you're spunky, you're nutty. Oh, whiskey, you're me darling, drunk and sober. Hey, right foot to a laddie, oh, there's whiskey in the jar. Hey, whiskey, you're the devil, you're leading me astray. Over hills and mountains and to America. You're sweet as drunken taste, and you're funky, you're tay. Oh, whiskey, you're me darling, drunk or sober.
Said the mother, do not wrong me, don't take my daughter from me. For if you do, I will torment you after death, because of what you've done.
Very well. Me right foot to a laddie, oh, there's whiskey in the jar. Hell, whiskey, you're the devil, you're leading me astray. Over hills and mountains and to America. You're sweet as stronger taste, and you're spunky, you're tay. Oh, whiskey, you're me darling, drunk or sober. Oh!
It's true.
Hey, 10 or 12 more, and I'm out of here. That's
You
it.
gotta cut me off. 3 more, then throw me out.
Now,
That's a good.
I don't know how long, I mean, you make this show as long as you want,
Well,
right?
it's
We're going on an hour and a half.
it's
But we're on Irish time.
Patty Rice Foss is still with us. As long as she's with us,
She's
my
like,
God.
all right, we're going
As
to
long
keep
as the Paragon
I don't know whether
is
you want
with
to talk
us.
more
Dan-
about the greenhouse.
Dan Caldwell is out there.
Hi,
Dan,
Danny.
as you all know, many of you know, most of you know.
Danny boy. No,
We're
we,
not doing it.
we love you. Go ahead.
Dan Caldwell
Nope.
started all this.
I don't know if I know the chords.
What did you do there? Well, he can do it.
Another
G.
I'll help.
G.
Indeed.
G.
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 Oh, daddy boy.
I
Oh,
think it's in D.
okay, try D. Oh, Danny boy. The pipes are calling. From glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses dying. It's you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow. Oh, when the valley's hushed and white with snow, it shall be here. I know it with G. I know it with G. I'm gonna hurt myself. El shadow. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so. And if you come, and all the flowers are dying, if I am dead as dead, I well may be. You come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and pray, and avail for me. And I shall hear how soft you tread above me, and know my grave will warmer, sweeter be. And when you kneel and tell me that you love me, then I will sleep in peace until you come to me.
Sorry about that.
The wrong
Get
key,
back down
Danny.
there. Get back down
We're
there.
sorry.
All
Still
right.
a tribute to
That
Dan
is all
Caldwell.
right.
It's G. It's G.
That was a bit high.
Yeah.
We tribute Dan Caldwell because he, as you have heard a number of times, he and his wife Laurel brought the first.
The first Canjo to me, and I looked at it and said, well, hell, I could build one of these, and discovered cigar box guitars.
History.
it's likely that none of us would be here today if they hadn't. So,
God bless them.
Dan Caldwell.
Thank you.
I
and
don't know that
Laura.
I would be dead if.
Oh, I'm not saying we'd all be dead, Jesus. Just saying we wouldn't be sitting here in CB Gitty broadcasting.
All right.
True.
I would be
Very
here
true.
with you.
Et cetera,
I
et cetera.
understand. Okay.
We haven't yet
All right.
really talked about
want
the
to?
green. I do.
Okay.
Oh, you saved the best to last.
Well,
Tell them about your first experience at the greenhouse. That must be something.
oh, we should sing that song.
That's what I was thinking.
Is
you know?
that appropriate for your?
Well, not the greenhouse song,
No,
but the
yes,
Irish
yes.
Rover,
Oh.
because
Oh, certainly.
our Patrick here has a number of siblings, but he has got a brother named Charlie, Prince Charles
Bonnie Charlie.
of Boyle,
The
Bonnie,
Lord Mayor of Dover.
Bonnie Prince
Yeah.
Charles.
At least Boyle Street, anyway.
It is on my.
Well, you know, I've got a way of describing it that you meet people in your life, and sometimes all you can say of them is that you know them. Because if you go down through Dover and you meet somebody having a pint at a pub or whatever, and they're from there, and you say, well, do you know Charlie Boyle? And if they say maybe, you know they don't know Charlie Boyle.
Right.
Because he's the sort of man that you know if you know him.
He's an unforgettable
And now,
person.
and I've got to say, Patrick, you're much the same way. People know if they
very
know
true.
you.
Well,
And I'm glad to know you.
I want to quote Charles Boyle. Here's a quote from Charles Boyle. If I had feathers on me ass, I'd be a rare bird. There you go. And that's a quote from Charlie Boyle.
That's one of many quotes
Oh,
of
yes.
Charlie Boyle. He's got a number of songs that he sings.
Oh, yes.
None of which we can do here now.
Absolutely
Some of which,
filthy.
and we're going to do Let Grasses
And
Grow.
those songs get them thrown out of every bar in Dover, except Kelly's Row.
Except
Aw.
if Brian was there,
Oh,
right? Wasn't that the story? If Brian Kelly was there, Charlie.
well, the
didn't get
manager
thrown out.
called Kelly one time and said, I had to throw Charlie Boyle out again. He says, you leave Charlie Boyle alone. Charlie Boyle can come there anytime he wants.
Well, he told us a story once down at the greenhouse that he and his friends they're big Boston sports fans, all the Boston teams, they're all in. And of course the Red Sox play in Boston,
Oh.
so I've heard, at Fenway Park. So Charlie and company would go down to see a Red Sox game. Well, Charlie would buy 2 tickets.
At least 2, sometimes 3.
Because he knew he was going to get thrown out at least once.
That's the God's
He'd
truth.
take his second ticket, go around to another gate, get back in.
Oh, I could tell many stories about that.
That's a
too.
true story.
This is
That
not
a
made
God's
up.
honest true
This is
story.
the truth.
He's harassing people so bad on the field that they throw him out. Comes around, gets back in with his second
Dave
ticket.
Winfield played for the Yankees. Charlie was out in the bleachers.
Didn't he almost get in a fight with him?
He got Dave Winfield so upset that he came into the stands trying to get a hold of Charlie.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's not made up, folks.
But the
That's
greenhouse
but on the wall of the greenhouse, now, we talked about it is an actual greenhouse. Plants have been grown there and still are.
Yeah.
There's probably tomatoes up in the rafters.
You can smoke in the greenhouse, but you can't smoke tobacco.
No tobacco.
No tobacco.
Because it hurts the tomatoes.
Yeah.
But let's just say a lot of smoking does go on.
Right,
I've
corn
never
salad,
heard
stuff
that.
like
It's
that.
why we can't film a live broadcast in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
Right, but
At
there's,
least until
but also it's a
Well,
place.
maybe in the future.
if they ever
It's-
get around to legalizing.
Now that's a place. All right, we talked about the crack being 90 and stuff like that. The crack is almost always high at the greenhouse. I don't know. I know there are people, we could get into that too, that are banned from the greenhouse, but that's another whole. But there aren't.
No one in this.
Right, there aren't very many. Charlie Boyle, true to his heritage, all right, keeps a very welcoming place. It reminds me a lot of stories I've been told about my grandparents' farm, where everybody was welcome. All right, no matter who you were, whether you had a pot to pee in or a window to throw it out of, you were always welcome at the farm.
Right up until the end, because nothing heavy could happen.
Yeah.
But that's with the green, you know, and that's with the Boyles. They give you the welcome.
Well,
You know
that's
what I mean?
that's the homestead on which you
That's
all
right.
were born and raised.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
my parents are now. Geez,
I
they wouldn't be happy with
I know,
Charlie
I
at
know,
all.
I know.
But that's
But you know what? Charlie's happy there. That's all that
That's,
matters. you
they
know.
would be happy about that.
Yeah.
they would want him
Yeah,
to.
they would.
They want you guys. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
got a heart of gold.
I have
Yeah.
always got my home to go home to as long as Charlie Boyle is there.
That's right.
I keep telling him we're gonna fix up Uncle Patty's cabin, and I'll come down there and stay a weekend at a time. A timeshare.
Uncle Patty spent the whole summer.
It's the drone
He
tank.
wintered out at Aunt Annie's and Aunt Molly's and drive them crazy during the winter. Then he wintered
Come
out
down
at Uncle
in
Patty's.
summer down at the.
That's why it was built. Well, that's where Uncle Patty lived.
All right. Speaking of all things good and holy and wonderful, we're gonna do the whiskey medley here of Hills of Connemara into Let Grasses Grow.
Oh my goodness.
Now
Glenn
this is
Chihuahua
our
has already gone home. Glenn Chihuahua
Glenn's
usually
gone.
ends his day at 3:30, so if he's still sitting at that computer, God
I
bless
doubt
him.
it. All right, so now we start. You do your whistle break because I'm in D, and then we switch
Yeah.
to E, and then you start singing.
Yes.
Because I got to sing and play this at the same time.
And he
On
wants
the
me to
guitar.
do the same thing. So.
But I don't want to do it too fast this time. There's no use in
rush.
hurrying.
No rush.
And plus, I can't remember how it starts.
Let grasses grow.
No, that's
my
this
part.
part.
That's the second part.
Gather up your pots. And
Yeah,
There
there
you
are
go.
pots.
It's about the first part's about the making of the whiskey.
Ishkabaha.
They're both about that.
Ishkabaha.
Hold the water.
The water of life.
The water of life, exactly.
Yes.
All right.
No, that's his part. Gather up your pots and your old tin cans. The mash,
The corn, the barley, and the bran. Run like the devil from the excise man. Gets smoke from rising party.
Well, keep your eyes well peeled today. The excise man is on his way, searching for the mountain day in the hills of Connemara.
Gather up your pots and your old tin cans. The mash, the corn, the barley, and the bran. Run like the devil from the excise man. Gets smoke from rising party.
When a butcher and a quart for Tom, a gown for poor old Father John, to help his hymns and prayers along in the hills of Connemara.
Gather up your pots and your old tin cans. Mash the corn, the barley, and the bran. Run like the devil from the excise man. He smoke from rising party.
But swing to the left and swing to the right, the excise man will dance all night. Search for the day till the morning light in the hills of Connemara.
Gather up your pots and your old tin cans. Mash the corn, the barley, and the bran. Run like the devil from the excise man. He smoke from rising party.
Stand your ground, it is too late. The excise man is on his face. And he's drinking it straight from the hills of Connemara.
Gather up your pots and your old tin cans. Mash the corn, the barley, and the bran. Run like the devil from the excise man. He smoke from rising party.
Like grasses grow and waters flow in a free and easy way. But get cleaned up when the railroad stuff it made you go away big. From Clifton all, from Donegal,
Sligo and
welcome to. Welcome to Slip and Take a Sip with the Railroad Mountain Dew.
Hi-do-do-ly-lum, diddle-do-ly-lum, diddle-do-ly-diddle-ly-day. Hi-do-do-ly-lum, diddle-do-ly-lum, diddle-do-ly-diddle-ly-day.
Foot of the hill.
At the foot of the hill, the leap of the hill, the smoke rose up to the sky. The smoke and smell and blazing hell is watching through nearby. It fills the air when an order rare, but just put me into. When home just goes, you take a pour, bucket of the Mountain Dew.
Hi-do-do-ly-lum, diddle-do-ly-lum, diddle-do-ly-diddle-ly-day. Hi-do-do-ly-lum, diddle-do-ly-lum, diddle-do-ly-diddle-ly-day.
Now learned men who use a pen have wrote your praises high. That sweet poteen from Ireland cream distilled from wheat and rye. Throw away your pedal and cure all ills, a pagan, a Christian, a Jew. Take up your coat and grease your throat with the railroad Mountain Dew.
Hi-do-do-ly-lum, diddle-do-ly-lum, diddle-do-ly-diddle-ly-day. Hi-do-do-ly-lum, diddle-do-ly-lum, diddle-do-ly-diddle-ly-day. Hi-do-do-ly-lum, diddle-do-ly-lum, diddle-do-ly-diddle-ly-day. Hi-do-do-ly-lum, diddle-do-ly-lum, diddle-do-ly-diddle-ly-day.
That's how you do it.
I tell you what, that was great. I was doing my best to keep up. Well,
Hey, you're doing all right now, you know?
I'm not.
Oh, we were supposed to be going slower. Yeah,
Well,
we said that right.
well, I'm the one that started it. I can't blame anyone else
Well, I'm
but
sure
myself.
we sped up.
Well, again, all of you who are joining in on this session, we're doing our best to make this. Well, there's a story there. Believe it or not.
No.
When we were all in a band together, they're still in a band together. I rejoin occasionally, but we would have our rehearsals around the kitchen table of Tyler Foss here.
Well, thank you.
Great big wooden table, and we'd almost always have a hell of a good time
Sure.
sitting around that table, singing,
More often than
talking,
not.
telling
Yeah.
stories, laughing, joking, and that's what I kind of wanted to try to recreate here today.
Pretty close.
I think we've done
By
a
God,
great
we're-
job. Now, just all right, just so you know, all right. Now we do still, practice at my house, but we've also brought the crack over to a new house.
Yes,
Over to
yeah.
Over to Patrick Boyle's.
French
All right.
Canadian
Go to the
territory,
Cold
but
Tree
that's all right.
Lounge. The Cold Tree
Right,
Lounge.
Cold Tree
There's a whole
Lounge.
story behind that, too.
Right.
But anyway.
Where are we going?
I don't know. What the hell we got left here? Not much. We've
Wagon
done.
wheel, or do you want
Oh, we got to do wagon wheel.
We're not
Well-
going wagon wheel.
Yeah. The one not traditionally Irish song that we are going to do here today,
Right, we
just
talk-
because we so much love to hear
Just
ourselves.
to drive.
Yeah,
yeah, but you
Just to
talked-
We
drive.
do it better than anybody we've ever heard do it. so.
Drive
Right,
Shane's
not that
feel
we've got-
crazy.
don't have-
Ah,
That's
he's
the
not
thing.
watching. To hell with him.
But
Love you, Shane.
right? You know we love it. All right. But this, you mentioned his name earlier. All right, great man himself. All right, Bob Dylan, because
BD.
he wrote this song, did he not?
He had a hand in it.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh,
He
okay.
didn't
So
write
left
the
or
whole
right?
thing like
No.
Well, we're giving you both hands.
both at the same time.
We're giving you
Who's-
both
Please
hands.
count. Do you play this on the guitar?
No,
Okay.
I'm gonna help you with the lead.
Well, let's do it as a duet.
Okay.
You want the Irish one?
The Irish what? No. Sing it if you know it. Headed down south to the land of the pines, dumping me a freight out of North Carolina, and staring up the road, praying to God I see headlights. Well, I made it down the coast in 17 hours, picking me a bouquet of dogwood flowers and hoping for rally. See my baby tonight. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. And hey, hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, 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 mama, rock me. Well, I've been running from the cold up in New England. I was born to be a fiddler and an old-time string man. My baby plays the guitar, I pick a cigar box and out. Oh, the North Country winter keeps getting me down. I lost my money playing poker, so I had to leave town. Ain't going back, living that old life no more. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. And hey, 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 mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train.
to the south out of Roanoke. I caught a trucker out of Philly, had a nice long tow. He's headed west from the Cumberland Gap down to Johnson City, Tennessee. Well, I gotta get a move on, a fit for the sun. My baby calling my name, I know that she's the only one. And if I die in prison, at least I will die free. I will die free. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. And hey, 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 mama, rock me.
Mama, rock me.
Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. And hey, 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 mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. And hey, 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 mama, rock me.
Mama, rock me.
Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, 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 mama, rock me. Hey, mama, rock me.
We love that song.
There you go now.
Can you dedicate it to Shane?
That's for
We
Shane.
sort of did.
We love
Haven't
you too,
seen him.
Shane.
He's out. Shane Spiel's out in his woodshed today. He said he had 3 heaters going, trying to warm it up enough to build some guitars. So here's to Shane.
Good luck with that.
Exactly. Well, we've done almost everything on my list here,
That's good.
except
Oh.
except
Well, we're gonna do that song, right? But
which
do,
one?
well, the parting glass. But,
Well, that for the end.
Yeah.
all right.
Are
Well,
we
I don't know how
done?
much time here that you.
I don't know.
I don't know. What do we-
Do you think we should be done? Are we done?
This show's usually less than an hour.
I know.
Ah.
I know.
But this is
It's-
the Irish
we're on
show.
Irish time.
It's
Yeah.
the high holy season.
That's it.
It's Irish time.
Patrick's
that's
got a
right.
half of
Still
a
got
half
50
left.
Yeah.
people
I
watching.
got enough to sing the song.
How about a request? Do we have a request?
Any
from
requests?
Anybody? Has there ever been a request on
anything
there?
come
Even the
across
Request
one?
that I had come through that I saw was Waltzing Matilda.
Oh, we ain't doing
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I can get close to it.
that. Oh, okay.
How close?
Is it the?
When I was a young, I don't know
Well,
if we
that's-
have time for
that's,
that. You know?
That's a long song.
It's like 18 verses.
Yeah,
and they're all
something like
sad.
that. Yeah.
Everything's sad all the time.
When I was a young man, I carried my pack, and I lived the free life of the rover. From the Murray's Great Basin to the dusty outback, I waltzed my Matilda all over. And in 1916, my country said, son, it's time to stop rambling, there's work to be done. So they gave me a tin hat, and they gave me a gun. And they sent me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as the ship pulled away from the quay. Amid all the tears, like waving and cheers, we sailed off for Gallipoli. Now how I remember that terrible day, when our blood stained the sand and the water, and how in that hell that they call Sula Bay, we were butchered like lambs at the slaughter. Johnny Turkey was ready, oh, he primed himself well. He rained us with bullets and he showered us with shells. And in 5 minutes flat, we were all blown to hell. Nearly blew us back home to Australia. Now the band played Waltzing Matilda as we stopped to bury our slain. Well, we bury ours, and the Turks buried theirs, and we started all over again. Now those that were living don't try to survive that mad world of blood and fire. And for 10 weary weeks I kept myself alive, while around me the corpses piled higher. Then a big Turkish shell knocked me arse overhead, and when I awoke in the hospital bed, saw what it had done, wished I was dead. Never knew there was worse things than dying. For no more I'll go waltzing Matilda all around the green bush far and near. But to hump 10 pegs, a man needs both legs. No more waltzing Matilda for me. They collected the wounded, the crippled, the maimed. They us back home to Australia. The armless, the legless, the blind, the insane, those proud, wounded heroes of Sula. And as the ship pulled into Circular Quay, I looked at the place where my legs used to be. Thank Christ, there was no one there waiting for me. For to mourn and to cry and to pity. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as they carried us down the gangway. But nobody cheered. They stood there and stared. They turned all their faces away. And now every April I sit on my porch and I watch the parade pass before me. I see my old comrades, how proudly they march, renewing their tales of past glories. I see the old comrades, all tired, stiff and sore, those forgotten heroes of a forgotten war. And the young people ask, what are they marching for? And I ask myself the same question. And the band plays Waltzing Matilda all around the green bush far and near. But year after year, the numbers get fewer. Someday no one will march there at all. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, ooh, come waltzing Matilda with me. And their ghost may be heard as they march by the billabong. Ooh, come waltzing Matilda with me.
Woo. Thank you very much.
I don't think that's what she meant, but that's what you
There
got.
No, hopefully that didn't bring you down too much. It's a very
It
special
has been a
song.
request.
Right.
A very important request from your mom.
From my mom. I saw it. That's why I started.
What's mom on?
Someone named Michelle DuPont Morrison says hi to you.
Hi, Mish.
As well as
Larry.
Patty Foss has also requested it. So,
Who?
Donald, where's your trousers?
Oh.
You
Larry.
got a guitar leaning against you.
Yeah.
So I saw
I'll be
that
careful.
come
Patrick,
by.
that was
I,
beautiful.
I saw my
Oh,
mom.
thank you.
Thank you very much. We've been wanting to do that for a while. And that's to all the CB Gitty folks in Australia. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
I know that.
Oh,
That's why,
Jesus.
God bless you all. We love you. All right.
All right, we're gonna give this a try here. Now this.
What do you got now, man?
Well, this banjo here was built by Farley Andreessen with consultation with Dale Vigent, the drum maker upstairs. 2 of the bands have let go, and by God, if the 3rd one lets go while I'm playing, just bury me out back. 'Cause
No,
It'll take me-
It'll play well in the greenhouse.
That's
Charlie,
it. It'll
Charlie
be a
will play
sign.
in the greenhouse, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
This is a Scottish song.
I just came down from the Isle of Skye. I'm not very big and I'm awfully shy. Fancy shout as I go by. Oh, Donald, where's your trousers?
Let the window high, let the window low. Through the streets in the kilt I go. All the lassies say hello. Donald, where's your trousers?
And I went to a fancy ball and it was slippery in the hall. I was feared that I might fall 'cause I had nae on me trousers.
Let the window high, let the window low. Through the streets in the kilt I go. All the lassies say hello. Donald, where's your trousers?
Where'd I go next? Oh, yeah.
Well, I went down to London town to have a little fun on the underground. The lassies turned their heads around, saying, Donald, where are your trousers?
Let the window high, let the window low. Through the streets in the kilt I go. And all the lassies say hello. Donald, where's your trousers?
Oh, it's gonna let go.
Well, the lassies love me everyone, but they must catch me if they can.
Can I put the brakes on a healing man?
Say, Donald, where's your trousers?
Let the window high, let the window low. Through the streets in the kilt I go. All the lassies say hello. Donald, where's your trousers? Let the window high, let the window low. Through the streets in the kilt I go. All the lassies say hello. Donald, where's your trousers? Donald, where's your trousers?
All right. Thank
There
you,
you go.
Farley.
That one's for me,
Janitor.
Ma.
Larry. And who's the 3rd person? Oh, Patsy Paragon Rice Foss.
Oh, yeah.
That's for that.
Are we done yet?
You're the fearless leader.
Here we are. We're
That's it.
2 hours into this, you know.
Right.
It don't take much to
Time
get
flies when you're having fun.
Get us
No,
ramped
that's
up.
part of the good stuff about this. About the
That
session.
is the good thing.
And
Once
the
you
Irish
get,
time. All right.
There's not as many likes.
are
and hearts.
people still? There's still 60.
They're still
They're
liking
liking
it.
it
There's
up
still
like
60
crazy.
people.
We love you. We love
watching
you.
this.
You people are
Wrong
crazy.
with
You
you
people are
people?
sick. No matter who.
They're waiting for something to fall.
Well,
This
we
is
get
a
a rafters
very
to
good
fall.
christening of the brand new.
It
Gitty
really
Baker.
is.
You know, those of you who watch this show every Friday on occasion know that we've been through a lot of change lately, and this is the new. Actually, I'm going to get up.
Uh-oh.
If we'll take a brief
Sounds serious.
intermission. I don't know if that guitar is going to stand up, but I want to show you, using this camera, the new Gitty Studio. So you've been seeing the stage on that side, and then of course there's the stage where Glenn and I started earlier, what has previously been called the Mill Stage. And then coming around, we got our own Nick Lanciano back there behind the producer's desk. Look at all that back there, pushing all the buttons. And then we've got the screen where we see ourselves and say, oh, Jesus, is that really what I look like? And
So I
there's
keep my
some
eyes closed.
windows and doors. So it's a much bigger, now I got to put this back wherever the hell it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
See?
It's a much bigger scene than it used to be.
It looks
What
good.
you got, Tyler Foss?
No,
You
I
got
think
your
you're
hand
good.
up? A little
No.
further back?
Oh,
You're good,
should
Mrs.
I-
No, you're perfect,
Should I
Mrs.
sit back down?
Should be good right there.
That's
Oh, you're
the
perfect.
ticket.
You're perfect.
So
I know I'm perfect.
it's been a lot of damn
I
work.
try to
but
tell people. Nobody listens.
Totally worth it. Oh, have we? Oh no, that was just you holding.
He's been working hard. Farley and Glenn have been putting in a lot of
that
hours
was a Bard of Armagh.
in the new
No,
studio.
I
It
didn't do
was.
that.
Can we do Bard of Armagh a cappella? I don't know the chords.
We
don't
went
know
better than that.
Oh, what do you got? Well, that's for the end.
One fair
County
Oh,
Ireland, where memories so glorious and grand.
I know the
When-
chords to that.
Oh, you want to change? No, it probably ought to go up a
Well,
little
this
bit.
is just to enlighten you people that
It should go up a little bit.
don't know shite about Ireland. But
You all
anyway,
need to go.
Oh, yeah.
You're all welcome. We want you all to go.
and this is
To Ireland.
our relatives are all from Katy, County Armagh. And 30 years ago, they called it Bandit Land. I don't know why, but we're on the southern part of the north of Ireland. I don't call it Northern Ireland. That's a different country that I don't know. But Ulster is the north of Ireland. It's still Ireland. It's not a separate country. But anyway, that's my own feeling. And fire it up, boy.
There's one fair county in Ireland, only one, with memories so glorious and grand, where nature has lavished her bounty. It's the orchard of Ireland's green land. I love her cathedral city, once founded by Patrick so true. And there in the heart of its bosom lie the ashes of Ryan Boru. The great kiss in my old Irish home, far across the foam. Although I've oft times left it in foreign lands to roam, no matter where I wander, through cities near or far, sure my heart is at home in old Ireland, where? In the county of Armagh. It's my old Irish home, far across the foam. Although I've oft times left it in foreign lands to roam, no matter where I wander, through cities near or far, sure my heart is at home in old Ireland, where? In the county of Armagh. Now I've travelled all parts of the county, I have, from Newtown, Portkill, Glen, around the gap of Mount Norris, and down by Blackwater again, where the girls are so pale and so hearty, none down there and go bra. But where are the boys that can court them, like the boys from the county Armagh? It's my old Irish home, far across the foam. Although I've oft times left it in foreign lands to roam, no matter where I wander, through cities near or far, sure my heart is at home in old Ireland, where? In the county of Armagh.
That's a new ending.
That was new.
All right.
It was nice though.
Change it up as we go.
Have we sang everything we know yet?
Oh God, no.
We'd be here for
No,
days and
Jesus
days.
Christ.
Days and days. But, you know,
Are you
every
ready for
good
the
thing
ending?
is. Every good thing
We're
must
getting
end.
close.
Okay.
Don't marry Mac.
Oh, no. Too many words to that.
That's a good one.
Too quick. Yeah.
That's a real good
Now,
It is a
It's
good
been
one.
a while.
now, this is a song that there are two songs that Tyler and I at family gatherings with no guitars call the money song.
Money songs.
Tyler and I could do one of these two songs anywhere, anyhow. I always know where he's going.
I know that
This
one
is
of
it.
them
She's
is
an
Wild
incredible-
Mountain Time.
She's an incredible.
So if you
No, it's not Wild Mountain.
I know, but that's one
Oh.
of them. This is
It
the
is.
other
if
one.
you ever get Alzheimer's, you'll still be able to sing this song.
Yes, exactly.
God forbid that happen to anybody, you know.
What's the other one? Because I
Fields of Athenry.
Oh.
That's the one.
Is that what you want?
I don't know what the hell she's talking about.
No, I forgot. You know, I knew that one. I knew the money song.
Wait, have you done Finnegan's Wake yet?
No,
we
Jim.
don't.
It is
You wanna
on
do
the
Finnegan's?
list. Yeah, we
Really?
can do Finnegan's. Me and Tyler
We're
do
getting
it.
requests now.
I
Fire
love
the
that.
fire
I
is
love
now.
the man
It
over
is,
there.
it's
You know,
fresh.
I've always loved him.
Well,
I love him extra
it
special.
is on the list.
It
Yeah,
is
but
on the list.
they're not dropping 20s on our table.
Yeah.
That's okay.
No.
Usually we prefer requests to be written on
Written
the
on
back.
the back of a $20 bill. Go
$20
right to the
bill.
top of the
But
list.
to roll back to something that Kim was talking about, all right, with the gatherings and all that stuff, all right. And look, the Irish or the Irish Americans, nobody's got any franchise on this thing, okay. But when it comes to dying, all right, because as much as we don't want that to happen, it's a meeting we're all gonna have.
Make
You
it
know
a
what I'm
quick
saying?
one. That's all I
But-
ask.
Yeah.
I don't want to limp
But-
away from
I
this.
all
want
right.
to go to sleep and wake up dead.
Right,
That's
but we
it.
want to, but you know, I guess in one sense, you know, we're not afraid. The Irish are not afraid, not only to talk
It's
about
gonna be.
it.
It's not a
all
death.
right?
It's a rebirth. We're going to go to something even better.
Exactly, all right. But in some sense,
We're going to be in the
in some
section
sense,
forever.
yes, in a sense to celebrate it in a way. You know what I mean? But to celebrate the living, all right, and to get through the grieving and all that good stuff. You know
Great
what I mean?
session in the sky.
That's right.
So we're gonna do Finnegan. We're gonna write in to look at the coffee.
Okay,
Right.
all right.
Oh,
So
Lord have mercy.
himself is
brace
telling.
yourself, Kim
Now we're
Starling.
going to tell you, okay, because there's many an Irish
We haven't
song.
done yours either.
This is the portion of the show that Kim Starling
Oh
starts
Oh
to
my
roll her
God!
eyes.
We're so far off script now. We're-
We haven't sang that yet.
Which
have we?
one?
Put the booze in the coffin to keep the.
Oh
booze
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Rosin the boat.
Oh,
No,
no.
Murphy's.
The night that Patty Murphy.
Patty
Oh,
Murphy
Patty
died.
Murphy.
Don't
We're gonna
worry,
do that.
folks. We're gonna get all this
That's-
together.
Oh God, we got all kinds of stuff. Okay,
We're
but you know, in
trained
a
These
beautiful
people are going to be
sense.
falling asleep
He's
pretty
trying to.
soon.
This one's trying to be all poetic
I
and
know.
deep over here, and we're like, let's kill them all. I don't care.
We're going to tell you about a man named Finnegan, are we not?
We are.
All right.
It's the best kind
Dublin
of Irish
man.
song. It's got living and working and fighting and drinking and dying and resurrection all in the same damn song.
And that's
And
the
the
truth.
weight too.
That's
Yeah,
right.
all of it.
Tell me about the man, will you?
Oh, I need your help.
Tim Finnegan lived on Watling Street, on gentleman Irish, my dear. Had a beautiful broad, so rich and sweet, in the rise in the world he carried on. Seemed ever born of a tippling way, with a love for the liquor, for Tim was born. Helped him along his way each day, at a drop of the crater every morn. Whack for the alley and dance with your partner, rub the floor, your colours shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. One morning, Tim felt rather full. His head felt heavy, which made him shake. He fell from a ladder and he broke his skull. They carried him home, his corpse away. They rolled him up in a nice clean sheet and they laid him out upon the bed, with a gallon of whiskey at his feet and a bottle of porter at his head. Whack for the dally, dance your partner, well the floor, your colours shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. His friends assembled at the wake, and Mrs. Finnegan called for lunch. First she brought him tea and cake and pipes, tobacco and whiskey punch. The widow Malone began to cry, such a nice clean corpse did you ever see? One time he went boiling, why did you die? Yeah, all your gobs is Marty McGee. Whack for the alley, dance with your partner, well the floor, your colours shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. And the widow Malone took the job on
She outrun, I'm sure.
Gitty gave her a mouth in the gob and left her sprawling on the floor. Then the war did soon engage, was woman to woman and man to man. Shillelagh law was all arrayed, and a row and a ruction it soon began. Well, the floor, your colours shake. Wasn't it the truth
I told you lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake.
Then Mickey Malone took up the job, and when a noggin of whiskey flew at him.
That's what happened.
All right,
Missed him
falling
falling
on the bed, like liquor scattered over Tim. Big Oddie Vines, see how he rises, and again rising from the bed,
Oh, this is brilliant.
and throwing your whiskey around like blazes. Gentlemen, dear, you think I'm dead?
Whack the hell, that's you, I never want the floor, your collar shake. Wasn't it the truth? I told you lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. Whack the hell, that's you, I never want the floor, your collar shake. Wasn't it the truth? I told you lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. How would you roll one game ball?
I'm gonna put that on the set list for tomorrow.
In honor of that's in honor of the who's the great bunch there. All right.
Dubliner.
There you go,
Jesus.
great men.
Oh,
God bless
running
them all.
through.
Yeah.
Voice
That's it.
full of gravel.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you all for joining us for this. I ain't gonna lie, it's become more about us than you at this point.
Yeah.
But that's how a good session
We've been
is
through the
supposed
tiny
to go.
glass pretty soon, and this will be the final glass, and I'll be filling it up with not whiskey, recycled whiskey.
All right,
Oh, jeez.
let's look at the coffin.
Okay, yeah.
Then
yeah.
Fields of Athenry, parting glass.
Then
By
we're
God,
really leaving.
cut us off. We're
really
done.
leaving.
We're done.
Just
How about
three
the
more.
liar?
I'll shut it off.
Charlie Boyle verse. Jesus Christ.
We'll keep going. Nick will shut us off. We'll keep going. All right. We'll quickly do the liar because that's one of my favorites.
Yes, with the
And then-
Charlie Boyle verse.
And then all those others. Nope.
You gotta do the Charlie because I don't know it. All right.
I'll do it.
Where are we doing it? What are we doing? Here we go.
Well, the rightful Turalati Turali. There is no one who can tell a lie like me. Are you quite certain till you're tired you won't find a bigger liar? I've been lying since the dawn of history.
Well, I was born about 10,000 years ago in Balmullet in the county of Mayo. It was me that chased the serpent while St. Patrick read the sermon.
And if I knew a bigger lie, I'd tell you so. Saying rightful Turalati Turali. There is no one who can tell a lie like me. Are you can certain till you're tired you won't find a bigger liar? I've been lying since the dawn of history.
Well, I saw her picking apples off a tree. I did. And she turned and she offered one to me. And I said, no, thank you, madam. Don't offer it to Adam.
I'm going home for fish and chips and tea. Saying rightful Turalati Turali. There is no one who can tell a lie like me. Or you can search until you're tired, you won't find a bigger liar. I've been lying since the dawn of history.
Well, I saw Delilah cutting Samson's hair. Well, she slipped away until his head was bare. When he couldn't run away, well, he married him the next day, and they opened up a barber shop in Lear.
Saying rightful Turalati Turali. There is no one who can tell a lie like me. Or you can search until you're tired, you won't find a bigger liar. I've been lying since the dawn of history.
It was during World War II, I'm at the mall. There was Roosevelt and Churchill and de Gaulle. And one day I nearly fainted, I was having my house painted. There was Hitler hanging paper in my hall.
Saying rightful Turalati Turali. There is no one who can tell a lie like me. Or you've been searching till you're tired, you won't find a bigger liar. I've been lying since the dawn of history.
I was walking through Dover town one day when I saw Charlie Boyle coming my way. Well, I thought I heard him mutter, well, nothing heavy cutter. I think I'll give up drinking today. That's a lie!
Say a rightful Turalati Turali. There's no one who can tell a lie like me. Or you can search until you're tired, you won't find a bigger liar. I've been lying since the dawn of history.
One more time!
Singing a rightful Turalati Turali. There is no one who can tell a lie like me. Or you can search until you're tired, you
very good at singing harmony. So when I decide to launch into it, I usually just steal hers, and it works out just great. Until she yells at me.
Folks, don't be fooled out
Don't
there.
be
People
fooled,
are
folks.
something
All
else.
new show next
Oh,
week.
Fabulous.
there's something
All right.
else, all right.
We want all you to come and join us too. So. But thanks for joining us here.
What was the plan? Coffin.
This. Oh yeah,
Athens.
we gotta finish killing them off, and we go to Athenry, and then we're out.
All right.
No.
All right.
Ready? All right.
Okay.
Sure.
I hope I know all the chords. It's been a long time.
No worries. What are we doing?
It's in D.
Oh, you
Oh
do
no,
that
we're
for
looking
mine?
at the coffin. That's in D too.
I'll do anything you want. How do you want to do it?
Look at the. All right, I'm ready.
Oh, look at the coffin with the golden handle.
There it is.
Isn't it grand, boys, to be bloody well dead? Let's not have a sniffle. Oh, let's have a bloody great cry. And always remember, the longer you live, the sooner you bloody will die. Oh, look at the mourners, bloody great hypocrites. Isn't it grand, boys, to be bloody well dead? Let's not have a sniffle. Let's have a bloody good cry. And always remember, the longer you live, the sooner you bloody will die. Oh, look at the flowers, all bloody wilted. Isn't it grand, boys, to be bloody well dead? Let's not have a sniffle. Let's have a bloody good cry. And always remember, the longer you live, the sooner you bloody will die.
Are we to the widow yet? Or the preacher?
No, preacher.
All right, the preacher, folks.
Oh, look at the preacher, bloody great fellow. Isn't it grand, boys, to be bloody well dead? Let's not have a sniffle. Let's have a bloody great cry. And always remember, the longer you live, the sooner you bloody will die.
Patrick Boyle.
Look at the widow, bloody great female. Isn't it grand, boys, to be bloody well dead? Let's not have a sniffle. Let's have a bloody great cry. And always remember, the longer you live, the sooner you bloody will die.
Now, Patrick, your brother Charlie, maybe you were involved. Wasn't that sung at the graveside service
Yes.
of Preston's dad
Yeah.
By request.
by a request
Yes.
Of the deceased.
of the man himself?
Yeah, oh
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
And what the priest,
Well,
I feel like I'm telling
it
the
was
story.
a minister. It was a Protestant
True story.
ceremony, and it was in July. It was a hot day, and I went and played the bagpipes, and then they requested child, and the coffin was still open next to the gravesite.
Oh, wow.
But the coffin was still open, and they had this beautiful shaded tent with people sitting in there. There must have been 30, 40 people sitting inside the tent. And I played the pipe, did Amazing Grace and all that. Then Charlie got in and sang that song. and I did the harmonies for him. And when he got done, he got a standing ovation at the graveside funeral.
By almost everybody.
Almost everybody.
Nearly everyone.
Yeah. And the ones that couldn't stand up, we put them in the grave. We put them in the grave anyway.
That's a better ending to that
Yeah.
story than I've heard before.
And the minister said,
So
"Hey, I
sorry.
got another
I got
gig
another
later
gig this
tonight."
afternoon. You guys
I gotta get out of here.
No, he wanted them to go
He
along.
wanted to go. He wanted to take us on the show down at Hampton or something. Oh yeah.
The road show.
You don't have the small pipes in there, do you?
I do.
Oh, Jesus. Do we have time for Bonnie Charlie? How you doing over there, Nick?
I'm doing great. I gotta go to the bathroom, so you're good.
All right, well, just let us go.
Can you go for me while you're
ahead.
there? Can you go for me while you're there? Because I'm saving this weed last bit. I'm sobered up now because I'm saving that for the parking class.
Well, what Patrick is getting out now, I'm looking at the screen. I've got to look at the camera. What he's getting out now are called the small pipes,
Shuttle-
the parlor
shuttle
pipes, parlor pipes.
They're used for practice, right? Principally, but you know they're
Well,
they're not as loud as the war pipes.
Yeah, they're
the
in,
bagpipes.
there it is. Intended more for polite company.
We're about to find out.
It's in D, I hope. Can you still sing it? You got it in there. You got it.
I'll get enough of it.
Charlie, now save me your love, friendly maid. A heart will break. Should he no come back again? Will he no come back again? Will he no come back again? Her love he cannot be. Will he no come back again? Now whene'er I hear the blackbirds tooting wildly through the glen, for me he sings his one song. Will ye no come back again? Will ye no come back again? Will ye no come back again? That love me cannot be. Will ye no come back again? Many a gallant chief was slain. Oh, for Scotland's king and alone. Will he no come back again? Will he no come back again? Their love he cannot be. Will he no come back again? Although the blackbirds no time, lilting wildly up the glen, tonight to me she sings one. Will he no come back again? Ha! Will he no come back again? Will he no come back again? Her love he cannot be. Will he no come back again? Will he no come back again? Will he no come back again? Her love he cannot be. Will he no come back again?
There they are.
That's beautiful.
The cat.
The cat is out of the bag.
Right in the back. My God.
Thanks for helping me, brother.
Tyler rarely forgets, so that's pretty rare.
Tell you what, these,
Gotta have some bark on the tree.
I've been playing a lot of nylon string instruments lately, and this is a steel string instrument, folks.
It's wearing them right out.
I'm starting to have the feels over here, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, you gotta
toughen up.
play
We'll do you
tomorrow.
good.
I know, tomorrow we got a whole another thing to do.
Right.
This is really the rehearsal.
Yeah. This
All
is
right.
the warm-up.
Now, no more screwing around. We're gonna do Fields of Athenry,
Okay.
and then the Parting Glass, and then we're shutting it down.
We're out.
All right.
Because we got 28 minutes now.
Last call!
No
Last
kidding.
call, everybody. Two
Yeah.
more songs. All
I
right.
want to thank himself, Mr. C.B. Gitty. I want to thank Nikolai. All right,
Nikolai, Nicolo.
Kim,
Fine gentlemen.
all
time.
the CB Gitty.
Don't throw
Folk,
any more
of
songs.
course.
Suggestions.
Himself,
Those of you who
St.
don't
Patrick
work
himself.
here, I want to thank you for coming.
Oh no!
Yeah, I'm getting paid
We're-
right now.
Yeah, you'll get an invoice in the mail next month. Absolutely.
We'll
just
take
happy
my
to be
share tomorrow and just keep it amongst yourselves. All right. It's been a while on this one. I'll try to get
It's okay.
3/4 of the chords.
By a lonely prison wall, I heard a young girl call. Michael, they have taken you away, 'cause you stole Trevelyan's corn, so the young might see the morn. Now a prison ship lies waiting in the bay. Oh, lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. By a lonely prison wall, I heard a young man call. Nothing matters, Mary, when you're free. Against the famine and the crown, I rebelled, they cut me down. Now you must raise our child with dignity. Don't lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. By a lonely harbor wall, she watched the last star fall. As the prison ship sailed out against the sky,
While she'll live and hope and pray for her love in Bonny Bay. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. Oh, lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry.
You did justice to this song. It's a beautiful song. Thank
Now,
you.
good people, thank you, Tyler.
Really parting.
And now,
This is it.
we thank you all for joining us. The parting glass is nearly empty. All of mine are empty. Is there any more in the
You want a
in
fresh
the
one for
market
the parting
basket
glass?
bucket?
No, I'm sure there's something there left.
Nick, have you had one lately?
Not for the last half hour, I don't think.
Is there anything for our Nick?
There's 2 left.
You won the Nikolai.
We
All
got
good.
the- He's
I'm
good.
good.
You
I
guys
got-
are on stage. You've been playing longer than I
I got a
have.
splash here. All right.
Well, you got to get the church key out there.
Get the key out.
So what we're heading towards here is a song that is traditionally, thank you, sir, traditionally sung at the end of sessions, at the end of gatherings, specifically Irish gatherings, and it's one that our own Patrick Boyle does with
It's a song of
ability that few others have.
Right, it's a song of farewell. Farewell versus goodbye. Farewell is
Till
we'll
we
meet again.
Yeah.
Goodbye is a little bit more permanent than that, or at least the
And it's done
But
a
anyway.
cappella. So.
right.
Oh, of all the money that there I spent, I've spent it in good company. And of all the harm that there I've done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Oh, if I had money enough to spend and leisure time to sit a while, there is a fair maid in this town that surely has my heart beguiled. With rosy cheeks and ruby lips, she has my heart enthralled. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Oh, of all the comrades that e'er I've had, they're sorry for my going away. And of all the sweethearts that e'er I've had, they'd wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and I'll softly call, good night and joy be